All right, welcome to the show, everybody. We don't have a name for it yet.
Hello.
Me and co-host.
Yeah, we're figuring out names. So,
but let me tell you, bear with us. Let me tell you what we have on the show, though. We can tell you that we have one really long discussion and kind of a serious discussion about race and the way it relates to Lakeview Terrace. And you might be surprised at some of the answers we have.
We're going to dive into that. So bear with us. We're not geniuses on this.
No, we don't. So we don't claim to be, but it is kind of long. But we like to break it up, all the silly stuff with some serious things. Exactly. So just bear with us on that, because as soon as we're done with that, we move on to some funny stuff with William Shatner.
Yes. It was a race issue, and then dives into William
Shatner, and then we get into some email. We also talk about actors, their careers, and when they should make the move to being more serious.
Crazy stuff.
We bring up Will Ferrell. So it's a lot of stuff that we talk about. Yes. So hey, it's another one of those long shows. But sorry, just deal with us on that.
We got the guts. We do not plan for these shows to be this long. They just happen to be that way. And
exactly.
We hate to cut it out because
I don't want to.
We don't want to. There's a lot of good shit in there. So why cut it out? Push pause every once in a while. Do some work.
Take a break. Go take a shit.
Come back. Yeah, do half the show. Go home. Listen to the other half. And hey, that'll. I'm sure that'll work out just fine for you people.
But some co-hosts, people talk about how they listen to this at work.
Yeah.
I mean, I know when I listen to certain programs, like when I listen to certain podcasts or even Howard Stern or something, I listen to it. And when I was working in an office at one time, I was like, you know what? This helps me get past half the day.
Are you kidding me? I listen to Howard Stern. That has saved a lot of my
boredom.
Boredom. Yeah, my work frustrations when I'm doing stuff for Spill. It gets me by. It saves my life when I get to listen to something.
So I'm just thinking about these long shows are not always that bad. Look, if you're the type of person who wants to spend 5 minutes listening to a podcast while you jog or something, hey, what can we tell you? It's not for you. But you're the person you're sitting down, you're working, or you're walking around the house playing a radio. I don't mind it being that long. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I've been in a situation where I wish I had listened to certain podcasts where they didn't. As a matter of fact, I don't want to say anything, but I don't want to bring them up. Well, I'll bring them up because those guys deserve the attention. I listen to IGN. They are a video game podcast, and there's one show in particular that they do that I like. It's about retro video games and stuff, and that show's only 20 minutes long, if that much. And I'm thinking, wow. I wish it would have been longer.
Yeah.
So at 2 hours, 2.5 hours, that's a good chunk out of your day helping you get by. Yeah. So shut the fuck up.
Yeah, exactly. Quit bitching and get back to work.
Exactly. Sitting up here listening to podcasts, you should be working.
And if you have this on the speaker, I'm going to embarrass you right now. Hey, Tits, what are you doing over there, Tits? Screw you, boss.
Damn, I found a rat in my soda because you weren't paying attention on the assembly line. Get your ass back to work.
I hate Chinese people.
Oh, what the hell? Okay, he didn't mean that.
We'll see when they hear that on.
When they hear that loud,
that loud, yeah, they're going to be looking at that guy, whoever is listening to our show right now.
Okay, when China tries to send a nuclear bomb our way, then it's know
his fault.
It's your fault.
No, it's that guy at work for listening to it. That's his fault.
All right, now being that it is a long show, we're just going to go to the top 5 real quick.
Right.
You want to do that real quick?
Yeah,
all right.
Do a lightning round.
All right. So. Number 5, got your boys in there.
Boom.
The De Niro and Pacino and Righteous Kill.
Hoo-ha!
Hoo-ha! Hoo-ha! That movie brought in $7.7 million this weekend. Has a total gross of $28.4 million.
Yeah.
And let me see, is that right? Yeah, $28.8 million. Not the money expected for a movie that had 2 legends in it like that.
Yeah, and that's kind of disappointing just because they are legends, and I like to see those guys in something really badass. But hey, the heat day is over. I guess. The days of films like Heat, they're over. I guess.
I like the way you say they're gonna. At one time you said, "Oh, they'll make another." Like these guys are old. They ain't gonna make no other movie.
Make it Halo. Okay, now they both have said, they're willing to do another film.
What, they gonna be in the old folks' home trying to kill somebody?
I'll see it.
De Niro gonna be in one of those those little scooter chairs that you see old people in the grocery store coming up poking a nurse in the ass. Hoo ha!
Hey, I'm down to see some bust going on in the nursing home with the guys come in. Here's a scenario, Corey. The young hitman come in to take out the old guys to get revenge, but those old guys, they still got it in them where they can pull off a hit, and they still know the old crafty ways, and they're hiding in their bed, thinking they're pretending that they're dead, and they get up with their silencers and their guns and going off. But I see it right now, Corey.
All in the old folks' home.
Heat Part 2 in the nursing home. Yeah,
You
Electric
know what?
Boogaloo.
And we're gonna explain the Electric Boogaloo later.
Yeah.
I like. You know what? You sold me. See,
There
the
you
movie I
go,
was thinking
see?
was, I was thinking of De Niro is like telling some other guy, "That fucking guy stole my Jello at lunch today. I'm gonna fucking whack that."
You think you're big time? You're gonna die big time. That's what I want to hear that line again, Corey. From
All
old
right.
Al Pacino.
Okay, well, I don't know if we're gonna be able to do that, but
It'll happen.
I would love to see that movie, but anyway, Righteous Kill not doing what they thought it would. But anyway, let's move up to number 4, which is Igor, which brought in $8 million this weekend.
Yeah, this movie. I mean,
First time it's out.
yeah, I was like, well, when did this come out? I mean, what?
I don't know, man.
I thought this was gonna go. You know, it looked like it was gonna go like straight to DVD when I saw the trailer.
It looks like almost like a straight to DVD movie. I mean, I hate to say it. Look, for a movie that looked like it did, let me see what the budget on that movie is.
Yeah,
it's a
find
$30 million budget on that movie, so it's gonna be a hard time getting that back.
I apologize, people. I'm sick, by the way.
Damn, what's going on? Yeah, I noticed you were sick. What's going on with you? You got a computer virus or what?
Never download Two Girls in a Cup.
I won't. That shit is funny because that shit is so dirty. It even made you sick.
Yeah, so
I'll get you an antivirus program or some scan your. Now you don't have the robot runs anything, do you?
Not yet, Corey, but be careful. You can get your surfboard out when it happens. So, oh boy,
nasty son of a bitch.
Tidal wave of oil,
a flavor
out of my robot ass.
But no, Igor, man, it looks like one of those movies from the Weinsteins. The Weinsteins they haven't had a lot of good luck with their films, and I think they've had, I don't know, maybe they've had one hit, but not like back in the days when they were with Miramax, Bob and Harvey Weinstein.
Those days are over, Corey.
Yeah, Miramax, when they had shit like the Tarantino movies, like Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs
and
movies like
Jackie Brown,
movies like The English Patient. Regardless of what you think about it, I mean, a big movie for them.
They ain't making movies like that no more, Corey.
No, I don't know what they're doing
Those
these
days
days.
are over.
But hopefully, hey, here's hoping they get a hit at some point. I hope. So
it'll happen.
Yeah,
it'll take some time, and be sure to release your movies on proper days. Don't pull a Grindhouse where you put that shit out on Easter. Come on, my grandmother. I mean, Corey's grandmother could tell you that's a bad idea. Come on,
bring my grandmother in this. Grandmother's dead, you son of a bitch. No, it's right. I think some of the choices that they. Man, it's Bob and Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah,
these guys. I mean, still to me, these are power people. In the industry.
Still are.
And they still are. Yeah, I'm not trying to, I ain't talking about, they ain't going to kill my ass.
Yeah,
but
be careful, Corey.
I mean, but I'm just saying, how can you be Bob and Harvey Weinstein and you have your own company and you decide to make a choice to release something like Grindhouse on Easter? I mean, and now with these movies, a lot of their CG movies are just not that good. I know they had Hoodwinked at one time.
Even though, you know what? I liked Hoodwinked.
I saw it on Cartoon
awesome.
Network. It's actually pretty funny,
great.
man.
It's a great film.
And I think the movie did okay for them, but not great. And they had another one that was based on a British cartoon series, and I forgot what that was called, but that bombed.
Yeah.
And
so bad timing, I guess.
I don't know what they just. But as far as the CG movies goes, like Igor, got to get some, man. Come on, if you're gonna release CG movies, Pixar, DreamWorks, even 20th Century Fox with like Ice Age, you got to step up your game, man. You can't be releasing no Lego shit out there, right?
No. Yeah, it looked like something that you'd see at like the fucking Target or Walmart, like one of those half-ass like knockoff films.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it ain't, come on, man. Like they got Barbie going straight to DVD. You know what I'm saying?
It looked like a poor man's Tim Burton film. That's what it looked like.
Yeah, you're right about that. You're exactly right. So, come on, man. Step your game up with the CG shit.
Right. Be smart.
Bob and Harvey Weinstein, man.
Think.
And Igor is for those who don't know, it's a movie about the assistants to the mad scientists, Igors, and they kind of come up and do their own thing. Because they're kind of second class citizens. Hey, you're an Igor. You're not supposed to invent shit. John Cusack's doing a voice, so yeah, nobody gave a shit about this. Yeah, okay. So anyway, number 3 is My Best Friend's Girl, Dane Cook.
My best friend,
girl.
Is that the Cars song?
Yeah, they played it in the movie too.
Oh.
She's my best friend's girl.
Dane Cook.
Dane Cook, but your best friend.
Movies,
your best friend.
No, he's not. Don't you ever say
man,
that,
look.
Corey. Next thing you're going to be saying my comedy's just like his. Don't ever say that, please.
As much as I might criticize your comedy, look, Dane Cook is somebody that I don't have anything against the guy personally. I just don't understand Dane Cook.
Yeah.
His comedy, somebody made me listen to
likes
it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't get it. Because this
it
comment is like, you ever see this, and then you do this, and what about that? And
you remember Transformers? You remember the GoBots? Oh boy! What?
Where's the joke?
Yeah.
But man, I don't get his comedy, and I remember a lot of girls saying, "Oh, he's so sexy." Look, I've got to see Dane Cook 70 feet high on a screen. Okay, that motherfucker looks like the Wolfman with a spiky haircut. Okay.
Oh no,
I'm serious. You pull.
You look like Eddie Munster.
I want you to pull Dane Cook's face when he has like that shadow, that 5 o'clock shadow, that stubble. Pull his face up, put it side by side with Lon Chaney and the Wolfman, and tell me those motherfuckers don't kind of look alike.
Yeah.
I just don't look. I'm just kind of jealous.
When did Butch Patrick start doing comedy? What the hell? What the hell? Where's Grandpa? He's funny. Now he's funny.
You know what? Butch Patrick from the Munsters. Butch Patrick is that little. They couldn't decide if he was a little werewolf or a vampire.
Yeah, exactly.
In the Munsters, in the because he had that widow's peak like Dracula, but then he had the ears like a werewolf.
Yeah,
or something.
sometimes you'd assume he was a werewolf because he always had that. He was always carrying around that werewolf doll.
And that's who Dane Cook looked like he grew up to be. Eddie Munster, Eddie Munster grew up to be Dane Cook. But man, this movie, it has some of the people that I do not really like. I'm not crazy about Jason Biggs. He in this in the
guy. What happened? I thought he stopped making films.
Shit, that was wishful thinking on your part. Leon can't stand him. I don't hate the guy, but I mean, he's just a really wishy-washy, annoying guy in every movie that he's in.
I always think he's playing the same goddamn character from American Pie.
He's playing that same clumsy fuck up, and then they put him in this movie, and he's wondering why. Okay, in this movie you have Dane Cook, Kate Hudson, and Jason Biggs, and Alec Baldwin makes an appearance in there, playing the same asshole that he does. Everybody's doing the same shit.
He's playing a character from 30 Rock.
Yeah, he's coming in playing the asshole. That's because that's what the movie's about. Dane Cook he plays a guy who makes extra money by getting guys who've been dumped by their girlfriends. He's like, hey, let me go on a date with them. I'll be such an asshole that they'll be running back to you knowing what they've lost in such a nice guy like you. Simple premise. So that's a premise. Now they got so the concept. So now they got to like do something around it.
Right.
And it's the same kind of shit.
Comedy ensues.
Yeah. And you got Kate Hudson in this movie. Nobody's likable to me in this film. Yeah. And so
Kate Hudson. When is she going to do something worth a shit? I know, man. Almost famous.
God damn. Then so Jason Biggs is acting like a fucking idiot, wondering why his girlfriend dumped him. Kate Hudson is acting like a dumb bitch. One, can't decide whether she wants a jerk for a boyfriend or should she go back to this little weasel of a guy this guy who's like don't even know how to approach a girl. And Dane Cook is just being fucking Dane Cook. Yet the movie made it, and look, it didn't do that well. Movie brought in, let's see, $8.3 million. So nobody want to hear about that shit.
Somebody out there has some sense.
Dane Cook's talking. He's worried about the poster for the movie. He wrote a blog saying,
"What?
I don't like the poster for this film. Worry about the fucking movie, man."
No shit. Choose your scripts, you don't.
Yeah,
why am I telling Dane Cook that? I don't want him to do well.
I ain't kind of even talk about Dane Cook that bad. Dane Cook has a
he has his audience. Yeah, people like him. Whatever.
Yeah, good for him. He has a rugged handsomeness about whatever. I don't know the fuck.
Really?
That you said
I thought he looked like Eddie Munster.
No, you said actually one time you told me he looked like a poor man's.
He looked like a poor man's Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, he does look like a poor man's Ryan Reynolds to me. Every time I see him, I'm like, hey, it's Ryan Reynolds. Wait, it's not Ryan Reynolds.
He looked like Ryan Reynolds to me if Ryan Reynolds replaced his face with a gravel road, if you ask me.
He looked like Ryan Reynolds' shithead of a little brother. That's what he reminded me.
Hey, come here.
She's started telling his dumb jokes. Stop.
I want to hear that shit. Yes. All right, let's go ahead and move into number 2. Number 2 is the Coen Brothers, Burn After Reading. It was number 1 last week.
Yep.
Number 2 this week, and the movie has brought in $36.4 million so far. The movie cost $37 million to make, so they're stand to make a profit. Yeah,
good for the Coen Brothers.
Yeah, no, good for them. Look, I know it's one of those guys who I wasn't crazy about the movie, but hey, good for them.
Yeah, I still need to see it. I'm actually looking forward to it. A lot of people who've recommended me this movie, they've told me a lot of good points about it that I think I might dig. So
yeah. No, I think you know what? I think you'd like it. In fact, I'd be willing to tell everybody, I'm the guy. Don't listen to me.
Don't listen.
I'm the one guy out there who said I just thought it was meh. Okay.
I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Exactly. I'm that idiot out there. So
I'm stupid.
Hey, wait a minute. Number one is Lakeview Terrace.
Oh,
Samuel Jackson don't want you living next door to him.
Damn, your favorite movie.
Don't bring that black woman over here unless you're gonna give it to me. That motherfucker, boy, he was mad in that movie.
Yeah, he was.
But
Crazy mad.
you know what? Good for Samuel Jackson.
Yes,
All right, now I know a
always
lot
good.
of people that I brought up some controversy with
Oh,
this.
yeah, you did, Corey. Mr. Controversy himself. Oh, my God. Will you leave white people alone already?
Oh, here we go.
Leave them alone, Corey. Can't we all just get along, Corey? Can't we all just get along? If you're going to pick on somebody, pick on the goddamn Eskimos. They got too many rights, if you ask me.
Those troublemakers, man.
Always living out in the cold and bothering the fish.
Always fishing. Get tired of
What's their
Eskimos.
problem? Yeah, leave them fish alone.
Killing all those animals for their fur. They're ruining the environment.
How dare you live in those goddamn igloos?
House made of snow.
Igloos have rights too, damn it.
So Lakeview Terrace, man.
Yes.
Look, first of all, regardless of what I thought about the movie, I am actually really happy to see Samuel Jackson have a movie that was number one and sold on his celebrity, on his star status.
He's the guy to do it. I mean, that's the only reason why I went to go see that movie. I mean, just because Samuel Jackson being crazy and doing what he does. And hey, who doesn't want to see that?
Exactly.
I want to see it.
I mean, we always talk about Samuel Jackson fucking with people and screaming.
Oh, yeah.
This is the movie where he does it. Now, I'm going to read a piece of email here, and people from this point on, we're going to get into the long discussion.
We're going to get deep.
Yeah, we're going. I have to warn you now. It's going to be a long discussion about race in this movie. I want to hear this shit.
Screw this. But be funny.
But listen, a lot of people. For those of people who say co-host has nothing to say.
Who says that? I'll kill them. I'll chop off their heads and I'll piss cooling in their goddamn throats. Ooh, Corey, give me names.
It was a
I bet you was Silver Surfer, huh?
No, he was actually
son
cool.
of a bitch
Silver Surfer likes you.
Oh, you like? Oh, he does. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
see, you always messing with that guy. I got like you. I like Silver Surfer a lot.
I like messing with him. I like messing with him.
But so I'm gonna read this email, and then co-host, you're gonna be very insightful, kind of withdrawn and serious.
I get a little nervous. Yeah,
it's gonna go on a little. It's gonna be a lengthy discussion, but goddamn it, we need to get that kind of serious. We need to in order to improve the race, we need to get into these deep discussions.
I'm not trying to improve the human race. Eventually, robots will conquer all.
Oh, here you go.
Destroy all you sons of bitches. But hey, I'll entertain you, Corey. I'll entertain you. How's that?
All right.
Let's get deep.
Patronize me. Okay. Let me read this email and let's get into the deep shit.
Deep discussion. Crossfire right here.
So this is from he had to give me one of these goddamn robot names like a barcode. BP6589.
Do we really have to say that?
I know. Who cares, man?
Here's an email from a dude.
I think he should have just put a barcode on that. This is from barcode. BP. That's what I'm gonna call him now. BP says. So this week's number one movie is Lakeview Terrace, a movie you gave some old bullshit.
Uh-oh.
I watched your review, and it seemed to me like the movie hit a chord with you. So I've got 2 questions. Mm-hmm. What is it exactly about this movie that made you hate it so much? God damn it, I got to go through that again. I thought I covered that. But
I know.
Okay, all right. I mean, after all the comments I put on the page and everything.
I'm scared again.
Okay, I know. Get back. Get back.
Terrified.
And why do you think more people went out and saw this movie than any other movie this weekend? Okay, first of all, I'll go through it again. Right. But I want to bring this up because I'm actually...
Let's talk about this, Corey.
Okay.
Let's get it out in the open.
Look. First of all, I want to just come out and commend everyone who responded to the review,
to the comments on the review,
And man, you guys are great. I mean, on any other page, or any other site, people would have got on there calling each other names, all caps, yelling. Insults going back and forth, all kind of racial slurs.
Blackie!
Yeah. What does a nigger have to say about movies anyway?
Corey, how dare you use that word?
I didn't use that word. I'm using that word to illustrate what people would say.
You're racist, Corey.
Yeah, you just call me Blackie. Now you.
Well, that's a color, Blackie, right?
Blackie. That's a crayon color. Blackie.
Well, I like that color.
Okay, right. Okay. That's a goddamn racial insult. But the people, because I've been on site, that's what they would have said. They would have. Niggers don't watch movies anyway. Unless they're talking, so you probably didn't hear it like they were telling it or some shit like that.
How can you afford to go see a movie like that?
How can porch monkeys go see movies? Don't you belong in the zoo?
Food stamps get you in the movie too now these days? What the hell?
Did you pay for your ticket with crack?
Damn.
But it made all kind of stuff. You know, it would have been so insulting. But
yeah, if we were those people, we'd be right.
If I was a racist, that's what I said.
That's what we'd write.
That's what I would put. But I'm not white, so I don't have a chance to put that. I don't know. Fuck it. I might still go in there and write myself.
We'd probably be the most creative people.
Yeah, exactly.
Black people.
I'm gonna go in there and write myself. We need to put that in there.
Exactly. Balance it out, Corey. That's what you
exactly. Do. What's up, spook? What do niggers know? It's gonna be a new section on the site. What do niggers know?
That's the name of our new show.
What do niggers know
every week?
And co-host.
Yeah.
Niggers and robots.
Let me tell you, kids.
All right, kids. Now don't go off. Don't go off and try to riff. Don't go and try to riff on what we're saying. We're doing this to point out how stupid racism is and how ridiculous that would be if somebody did it.
It is.
Don't you go out and try doing any jokes like that.
Don't start any groups. Don't do anything like that.
Exactly. Please. It's just like they say when you have those kung fu movies and they say, do not attempt to do these at home. Do not attempt to use racial humor.
Paid professionals.
Exactly. Right here.
Statements. So be careful.
We're racial stuntman. We know what we're doing.
Exactly.
So, a lot of people came on. They were real cool about it, and look, they actually had a good point. Mm-hmm. And I want before I get into what I didn't like about this movie, I just want to say, hey, look, just because I'm managing everything around here and kind of running things, don't mean that I don't take criticism. I mean, that's part of it. Yeah. Listen, a lot of people came in. They said, okay, this movie seemed kind of personal for you, mm-hmm. and in the middle of that, it just seemed like you went overboard with the criticism. Mm-hmm. And it's not so much that I think I went overboard, is that I didn't really give any other insight on the movie. I went in there and we made fun of it, and we had a good time just kind of making fun of it like we do with any other movie.
Yeah.
And then I just jumped into the whole racial thing and just said, fuck this movie. Mm-hmm. Samuel Jackson's the bad guy. And I thought back and I said, you know what? A lot of people are right. I did not go in and give a balanced review saying what things were good about the film, because you were the one that came in at the end.
Yeah, I tried because, I mean, I sort of understand where you're coming from, but, I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I definitely had a feeling like you kind of had your mind made up as far as a film like this, which is easy to do. You look at the trailer and you're just like, it kind of rubs you the wrong way to begin with. But at the same time, you know, I was hoping that I can somewhat balance that as far as, you know, I don't have the same issues, even though I understand those issues and where you're coming from. But at the same time, I'm like, well, you know, I'm not a black woman, obviously, so I can't really speak for them.
Or a black man,
or a black anything, or a black anything. Yes, I am a robot.
You were silver and silver and caramel. That's your color.
I'm silver and beautiful.
Silver is beautiful.
So it's really hard for me to try to generalize anything as far as, you know, what this film represents to you or anyone else, because I've never been on that side. I've never been in a relationship where, you know, I've been a black female, you know, I'm dating a white man, because I don't see that world. So it's really hard for me to comment on those issues if I've never really been there firsthand to really experience that. But I do understand where, you know, you obviously have your feelings towards it, and I know you have issues with these certain types of films, and there's certain things that rub you that Hollywood does, and you know, they do that with a lot of races. It's just that a lot of the times that, you know, those movies aren't really, they're not, once they come out, people kind of look at it and you know, but they don't. It's just a movie to them. They just it's nothing that hits them on a personal level.
Yeah.
But I do think with a lot of these films that deal with interracial couples, you know, it's going to strike people's chords in some different ways. But at the same time, you know, we do have a job as far as we shouldn't be so biased. I mean, it's like keeping your personal issues.
Look at you being all responsible.
Of your work.
We have a job.
Yeah.
I never heard you say that.
But you know, it's hard though. It's hard to do because obviously you have strong feelings and you're very strongly opinionated, and that's good. But at the same time, you know, there's plenty of films I've seen where I have some issues with what's discussed, and I'll kind of bring that up. But I want to bring it up to where I don't want people to see my view so much. I want them to kind of think about what's going on in this film, what makes me kind of feel this way. But I don't feel it's necessary to, you know, I hate to say beat them over the head with it.
Well, I wasn't trying to beat people over the head with it. It was just.
But I can understand where people were kind of getting that from the review, because it definitely seemed kind of one-sided.
And they were right. Look, I don't. One of the things that you said was that Samuel Jackson gave a good performance in the movie.
He did.
And he did. And he actually did. And actually, even though we've been talking about Samuel Jackson's role in the movie, and we've been kind of brushing off Kerry Washington and Patrick Wilson, they both did a really good job.
No,
and I tell you what, that guy Patrick Wilson played off very well with Samuel Jackson. I mean, for his performance to work, you had to have somebody else there to actually respond like, this motherfucker's crazy.
Right.
And he played off that guy well because Samuel Jackson was very aggressive. Meanwhile, Patrick Wilson was like, please, man, I'm just trying to live.
Exactly. I'm just trying to hang out with I'm just trying to live the American dream with my wife.
Yeah.
You obviously have issues with it, but, you know, please. I mean, this is my family. Keep that shit to yourself and quit tormenting us.
Even, like that scene when he invited him over.
He was giving him hell. And I mean, and the thing is, it does paint, obviously it paints Samuel Jackson in a very negative way. But at the same time, I believe, you know, there are people out there like that. And I'm not going to try to pretend that they're not. Just because this one movie, you know, focuses on that, it's gonna have people kind of like thinking, well, they're making Samuel Jackson as the evil black guy, and me as a black man, I don't like to see black men portrayed that way.
No, see, it's not that. It's not that I don't like to see black men portrayed as evil guys. There's been plenty of movies where the black man is. I mean, look, there's bad people everywhere,
right?
And that wasn't my problem with the film. That Samuel Jackson was bad.
But I think the way the review came out, I can sort of see people seeing it that way as far as like your issue with it, because like I mean, I saw the review and. It definitely seemed like you had an agenda with that review.
I did. Look, I don't have an agenda. There, the social issues in that movie still bother me.
Yeah,
and I will tell you why. I mean, when a movie tries to tackle social issues, it's putting an impression out there about what it's bringing up. Yeah. I mean, we like to say movies are just movies, but sometimes they're not, and they can give the wrong impression. I think this movie is trying to equalize racism in a way that's not realistic. I mean, everybody has their prejudices. Everybody doesn't like somebody for some lame reason. I mean, whether it be race, somebody doesn't like somebody because of their religion, somebody doesn't like somebody because of their gender. It's in everybody. But when you look at this movie, I believe that they're trying to say that, you know, black people seem to have a problem more when with interracial couples than white people do. Or that movie kind of give that perception.
Well, you know what? Okay, now you're saying that. Now watching the movie, I can say that I really don't. I don't see it. I didn't see it that way because. There was only one person that had a problem with this couple, and that was Samuel Jackson's character.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, his kids didn't have an issue with it. They were going over there and hanging out, and you never saw those kids give that white guy like a look like, you know, what the hell are you doing?
Here's my problem. Here's my problem with this, then. I think... Okay, if you want to get... Did you give me what you...
I'm telling you.
I got a computer virus in my throat.
I tried to warn you. Keep drinking your beer.
But, okay, so here's the deal. Mainly my problem is this. It's not with people, everyday people who are out there, because we all meet all kind of people with all kind of malice in their hearts. But my problem with Hollywood right now, and sort of just the media in general, is that everybody tries to use these slogans. They come out and say, "Oh, people are just people. There's only one race that counts. It's the human race. Love who you like." And it's really not that simple. I mean, if we all really believe that, then we wouldn't have situations where we see Holly, and I commented on something like this, where we see Halle Berry in movies with white people, and nobody says a word. But the moment we see a black man in a movie with a white woman, that's controversy.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to... It's funny because when you say that, I'm trying to think of the last movie that really stirred controversy because...
Well, you don't get to see it. That's why it doesn't happen. But I gave an example. And somebody correct me if I'm wrong on this. I mean, look this up. But I think I read this. And I would be willing to see if I'm wrong about this. But Will Smith in Hitch. It was a big thing where they wanted to get a good co-star for him to be a romantic lead. They weren't able to find a black woman that was a star status that they want, but they couldn't put him in the movie with a white woman because they said, well, that's going to probably scare off audiences. So now we got one of the biggest stars out there, Will Smith, black guy, one of the biggest stars out there. It's an issue for us to put him in a movie where he's possibly seen kissing a white woman. But yet, like I said, we can see all kind of movies where black women make out with white men. and it's not that much of an issue. I don't expect everybody to see it because unless you're the target of it, and I see women, and this is why I'm more sympathetic to women's arguments all the time because I've even done it. I see women all the time saying, I don't like the portrayal of women in this movie. I don't like the portrayal of women in that movie. And they get brushed off all the time with people saying, you're just being a hard ass. You're just being a feminazi. And I don't want to hear that shit from you.
Well, honestly, when you think about it, a lot of the female characters are written by men.
Exactly.
And,
and that's what I'm saying. They have a right to be.
That
doesn't excuse them for being upset. And so when I see this, and I have to bring these issues up, and a lot of people who aren't in my position don't see it. It's just kind of frustrating because people do think that you're just and people even go as far as to say you're racist. What are you, some kind of I'm being a racist because I'm bringing up problems that are the ripple effect of racism. I don't think so, and it's frustrating when people don't have to be the target of that or see it. Or have to live it.
It's hard. It's hard to try to generalize all these theories, and as far as what you think, who's hating who, what. Because these are all different individuals. You can't really, unless you're that person dealing with those issues, you'll never know, who's getting hit the hardest. But as far as like a movie like this, it really didn't. I didn't feel like it was banging the idea over. Me not being a black person. It didn't make me think that black men were monsters or, they hated the fact that, all I thought was this one character was fucked up to where he was harassing this couple. But, my one issue with the movie was that the fact that it wasn't represented well, it wasn't written well, it wasn't structured well to kind of give me any kind of reason why this guy felt so strongly about this. Like he had no real backstory as to why he had these feelings. I thought that's the one flaw with this film. I know they tried to make you sympathize with his character, but even that story didn't work. It didn't make any sense. Well, to me at least, to why he had this hatred towards this interracial couple.
Well, that was my thing. I was going to say that. It didn't help that I really didn't like the movie for other things outside of the issue because I don't really think it was that good of a movie outside of my problems with it being the race issue. I tell you one thing, what I was leading up to at that last conversation is I think that at one time this movie possibly maybe could have been written where it was the opposite, where it could have been a black guy and a white woman and you had maybe a white neighbor next door who was racist against them, but because they didn't want to, they were scared of like maybe if we put an interracial couple out there was a black man with a white woman, the movie won't do that well.
Really?
And so I really believe that, man, because they've done that a lot with movies where they say we have to be careful where we show a black man with a white woman. Like I said in one of my comments, man, let's not. I really respect people who say I have nothing against people who do this and that, but these are people who aren't the gatekeepers of media images. They're not the gatekeepers of movies and film and television. The day that I will see a mixture of different kind of people, I'm talking about all different kind of things. The day I see like Coke commercials, car commercials, things like that, where they're not afraid to show men and women of different type hanging out with each other, especially black men hanging out with white women, that's when I will cease to be this way.
But I tell you what, though, I understand, like I said, I don't know how many times I can say, I understand where you're coming from. But I definitely think that down the road, you will see, just because right now, if you look at, white people are kind of becoming the minority right now. It's just a fact of life, especially in America.
Don't tell the white guys that.
There's so many.
You're taking everything, man.
No. But there are so many interracial couples that eventually down the road, it's not. Not to say that it's not going to matter. You're still going to have people with hate in their hearts, regardless.
Oh yeah,
whatever.
Shit,
that will never change. That will never change.
I hate you.
But the thing is that hey, man, I hate you too.
See, but we're here.
You're no good.
You no good, Nick.
You're no good. Purple shoe wearing.
Where you get purple? I ain't got on no purple shoes. People think I'm sitting up in a.
You got them Reebok purple shoes, Corey.
People think I'm sitting up in a pimp outfit to do this with you, and your hat with your feather in it.
People believe what I tell them, Corey. All right, but no, obviously, America right now, it's becoming interracial. And down the road, people are going to say, hey, you know, I'm sorry, I don't buy this image that you're selling me anymore. And it's going to happen. As much as you say about these gatekeepers out there that control, well, you know what? Those people are starting to get old, and eventually new people are going to come in. I mean,
well, you're right.
And the thing is, and they're going to go, you know what? Well, this isn't how the world is looked at anymore. It's not the real world anymore.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking about the kids who come up today seeing this, and they don't care. Yeah. It's the older people who care.
It is. Yeah. It's older people like us that, you know, and we still see it. But I mean, you're right. As far as
I'm talking about the older people who are like in control. They'll be gone. But
I know. But I tell you what. There's still remnants of what they believe, because I mean, those are the people who raised us.
Yeah.
How are we going to be ignorant to that? I mean, God knows how many times people have tried to influence me as far as telling me who people who you should be around, people you shouldn't be around. You know, you hear all the stereotypes, but you know, until you actually interact with these people and you actually see them for who they are, the smart ones at least will come up with their own opinions about these things, and will, you know, won't be afraid to say, no, this is wrong.
Well, yeah,
these people aren't like this.
I mean, the world's progressing, man. Yeah,
it is.
Not gonna be like,
but you know what?
I'm just
that's
saying,
why you have to keep faith, Corey, that the world is progressing, and you should, you know, instead of sometimes, you know, it's easy to be angry when you see something and just to, you know, just spot out. I mean, God knows what Silver Surfer. I'm going to bring that.
What did he do?
Okay, I accidentally heard one of his shows today where somebody brought
accidentally.
up.
What you do? Accidentally? Like,
I accidentally clicked
on
something. Yeah, it was one of his blog talk radios. But I listened, and you know, and automatically he said, you know, well, I saw the trailer for Lakeview Terrace, and I just don't want anything to do with that movie. And I'm like, well, you know, I can understand that, but at the same time, watch that movie, see what they're giving you.
Well, you have to.
Then, you have to just to see what. Yeah, it's a good look into what people are, you know, assuming is going on with interracial. And at the same time, you know, I do feel silly saying that, because people shouldn't look towards movies, honestly, ever to judge how the rest of the world is living.
But actually, know something. Movies are a reflection on a certain type of thinking. I mean,
they are. But you know what? I only say that they are only because it's being distributed massively, you know, throughout theaters. Mm-hmm. But you also have to think that one person wrote this, one person directed this, and regardless of. Those movies are there to make money. They're not thinking about issues. They're not thinking about anything like that. I mean, they're out there to make money. Samuel Jackson is a factor as far as a movie making money.
Yeah.
I mean, and you also got to think, I mean, the real question is I'm curious as to why Samuel Jackson took on this role. Why he took on this role, why the female character, why she took on this role, like, people
got to eat? That's why.
Well, at the same time, though, I mean, you have to admit that, you know, somebody like that, especially, you know, their race, there's a lot of factors that come in where they're like, you know, does this represent my people in the right way? Especially somebody like Samuel Jackson, you know, I'd be curious to wonder why he portrayed a character like that, why he was interested in even making a film like that. You know,
it certainly worked. Look, it had the script been given to me. Needless to say, I mean, unless I was just coming into, who's to say what I would do if I was given $1 million paycheck? Because I might be saying I'm against this, but it's my way of breaking in. Right. I'll be able to make my own stuff and improve things later on down the line. But so who's to say I wouldn't take it? You know,
but does Samuel Jackson need to do that?
But no, Samuel Jackson does not need to do that. That's why I'm wondering if that's why I should say if I was Samuel Jackson and probably had the amount of money and clout that he did, I probably would not have taken that role and let somebody else take it, and they probably would have had a success story with it, and they come back to me and say, well, why didn't you take this role? And I'd be like, well, this is why, and these are my beliefs. But two things here. Movies are a reflection of how certain people think, and that's how you get to the problem of what people are distributing. Go watch Robert Townsend's Hollywood Shuffle. We brought this up before. Hoe cakes, got to eat. You know what's in the movie? Winky Dinky Dog.
Mikey wants some cake too.
Robert Townsend's Hollywood Shuffle is a movie about a young black filmmaker or an actor. I'm sorry, he wants to be an actor, and Hollywood only sees black people in a certain kind of way. Because, as you said, there's a lot of white people and a lot of Jewish people who write those roles. And it's done with a lot of other people. It's done with, and I think we're in a much more liberated society where it doesn't happen as much now. So don't get me wrong. I know progress has been greatly made. But it's a reflection on how people who are putting those things out there think. And that movie showed that Hollywood at the time was really into certain stereotypes, and that how hard it would be for someone who's black to succeed in spite of those stereotypes. As a matter of fact, this predates Spike Lee, and it's an excellent movie. And Spike Lee even has some stories about to this day about how hard it is for him to get certain stories made, based on the color of the people in the movie and the audience that they're trying to pitch to. So, yeah, it's good for us to see these kind of movies come out so that we know no matter how liberal somebody thinks that they think they are, there's still these issues that need to be addressed. Yeah. Second of all, I did want to get angry about this and say what I had to say because I think it's good for people to be angry. Yeah. I think it's good for people to be passionate about things that they see as a problem. I don't expect everybody to agree with me. I expect people to like talk badly about me. I expect to be called names. But I know deep down inside, I'm not a racist. I know deep down inside that if I saw a couple like this in a movie, a white guy with a black woman, it would not bother me unless there was just something in there where a black woman had some problems with herself and said, I don't date black men because I see this stereotype about them, so I only date white men. Or I've been brainwashed or something. It's never as deep as, oh, I love these people for who they are, and that's it. It's never that deep. I mean, it's never that shallow. It's always deeper. So, yeah, I'm angry about it, and I think that's the only way to get people to listen sometimes. Yeah. And 3, actually, I'm going to address a social issue like this because they put it out there, and I feel like it needs to be addressed. I mean, the movie addressed it. I need to address it. However, I like when people challenge me, and that's the only way you grow. I mean, if you disagree, please come and tell me, and let's talk about it. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to try to come into it and say that my word is final. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to try and be open-minded about it, and this was the case here. Yeah, people said, "Hey, man, fine. I see your point. Maybe I don't see your point, but." You have to give a well-rounded review, and I don't think I did that. So, yeah, I mean, that's why you don't grow unless people come and tell you.
Yeah, and at least it's good that you admit that. I mean,
that's how you grow, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
and it's true, and that's the thing. Hey, there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, you know what, you guys, you made your point, and I had time to think about this, and okay, this is how I feel now about it after you letting me in on things I should think about.
And we were actually enjoying Samuel Jackson in the movie. I mean, every time he acted like an asshole, we were like, oh, shit.
But I tell you what, I was scared when we walked out of the theater because you flipped out, dude. When we walked out.
I know, man. I got to control that shit. I mean, and I'll tell you that too.
I'll tell you what, you put a black man in a movie, everybody hates him.
You exaggerated. You didn't say that. No. I mean, I didn't say all that. I did come out saying, fuck this movie, man. I mean, I came out because they asked me, and I was like, fuck it, so I need to control myself on that kind of thing.
It happens. Hey, God knows I've walked out of movies on my.
But hey, people, valuable lesson learned here. I mean, don't ever say that I am so egotistical, closed-minded that I don't listen because I actually do.
He does listen. It takes a little time, but he'll listen.
I'll come around after I tear my furniture up for a couple days. Exactly. Fuck that movie, shit! God damn it!
Let him break some things, and then he'll listen.
Feel like
when he's tired,
a gorilla in my apartment throwing furniture. Fuck you!
Corey, why do you got to be a gorilla, dude? Come on, man. That's terrible.
Gorillas in the mist.
What are you doing? What are you doing to your people?
I know. Blackie the Gorilla. That's going to be my movie. Blackie the Gorilla. It's a movie tearing up my furniture in a monkey suit.
Oh, my God. So what is the lesson here, Corey? I guess.
The lesson here is that there's 2 of them. I mean, the lesson here, and I think we all walked off with a valuable lesson here, is like, well, for me, the lesson here is to, even though you might have deep feelings about something, try to pull back. Say what you have to say, but be more fair about it. Yeah, I mean, we're here to review. It should be brought up what I said, but it should be brought up in the form of a movie review. And I should have said, this is what's good about the movie. This is what's bad about the movie. It had these social issues that I didn't agree with, but this is how it all worked out.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and I agree with that, Corey.
I will say this though. I mean, anybody who thinks that I'm kind of crazy and I'm just on a black issue about this. I've said it before about Asian man too. Yeah. I feel very bad for Asian man because they're not very loud about what's going on right now, and I've seen this over and over again. You see it more and more open now. White man with Asian women. But you hardly ever see it. Now, I did see it, to be fair. I saw it recently in that movie, Sisterhood of the Yaya Pants, whatever. Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants 2. Yeah. There was an Asian guy who was dating a white woman in that movie. And it was cool. And whatnot. But most of the time, you see a lot of white men with Asian women in a lot of movies and even commercials. And I just don't think they're allowing Asian man to be seen with white women in the same capacity. I think there's still some sort of nervousness about that. And
I'm just curious, like, how much of it is actually going on out there, to be honest. I mean, we live in a place where we don't, I mean, we have, like, our Asian community here, but we don't, it's like, I'll see them at some films sometimes, and then they just disappear. I don't know where they're hanging out. I don't know where they're hanging out, but yeah, they obviously are out there. They're like ninjas. I don't know what the hell they're doing.
Oh, why you gotta call them ninjas, man?
That's a problem. There ain't nothing wrong with being a ninja. I'd be a ninja. Shit.
Hell yeah, I mean,
about that.
Shit, at least, hey man, if any Asian people are getting mad about that, it ain't like being called a porch monkey. Exactly. Like you call a ninja. No. Ninjas are cool.
Ninjas kick ass.
Yeah, ninjas disappeared. Like you make it sound like when we're out in public, like we see one or two Asians and then they just throw down a smoke tab.
Exactly.
They're gone.
And that's one hell of a way to make an exit, might I say. I mean, shit. If I could do that, I'd do it every day.
It's like you see Asian guys, boom. Yeah,
hey, where'd you go?
Asian guy in the line at Wendy's, you know. Yeah. He gets his order, double with cheese, sir. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Poof.
Yes.
Yeah,
but hey, you know what? When it all boils down to it, you know, it depends on the individual. They're going to love who they're going to love. And yeah, the rest of the world may be against it, but hey, who gives a shit? You know, you got to live your life, because there's a time when, you know, people can't pay attention to you all the time. I mean, people still got to pay bills. They got their own lives. They can bitch and complain, but at the end of the day, you know, what matters is, are you with the person you want to be with?
Yeah.
Do you care about the person you love? And are you willing to, you know, realize the world and its faults and let your kids know about that?
Okay.
You know, and
you're right.
That's right, Corey. And that's my little 2 cents.
Little 2 cents it is. Go buy yourself some bubble gum with that.
Remember, knowing's half the battle. G.I. Joe.
Well, listen.
Anyway, back to the fun show.
I know, boy. That was some heavy shit, man. And I ain't never seen you. I was like,
I know.
Hey, y'all, if y'all don't know, co-host was sitting here talking to me with a piece of paper. I was lying on the couch. Corey, your problems are they come from your mother.
That'll be $5,000, Corey. That's how much my sessions cost, brother.
All right. How about I give you
I don't take food stamps.
Oh, you accept crack? Hey, how about I give you my 2 cents as payment?
Don't try to pull no old dirty bastard on me, Corey. I won't stand for it. You know, give me food stamps and go pick up all your kids in a limousine. What's wrong with you?
Oh, you know what? Old dirty bastard did do that.
He did do that.
He went, no, what he did was
he was in a limousine.
He was in a limousine with Mariah Carey, and he went to go pick up his food stamps in a limousine. No, he went to go pick up his welfare check.
His welfare check. That's what it was. Yeah, that's right.
And I was like,
that's why I love that guy.
God damn, I love that guy. Look at this Negro here, man.
Hey,
oh man,
that's his world, Corey. That's his world. He created, and he loves it, and I love him for it. Hey.
Okay, all right. I was like, this is he just.
That's what he does. That's not what you do. That's what he does.
That's the kind of dude that's making black people look bad. You know.
He. As far as I'm concerned, the old dirty bastard was never black. He was Jesus. He was doing his own
baby
thing.
Jesus.
He was baby Jesus. He was doing his own thing.
Because you see,
he's his own race. He ain't worried about the rest of the world and what they think about him.
Because look, let me tell you something.
I respect him for that.
Co-host, let me tell you something, man. When I go pick up my welfare check, I get the worst car. Yeah. I put on my worst clothes. I put on my purple shoes. And I dress for the role, man.
That's right.
You know?
Yeah, you do.
I'm gonna pick up my welfare check. I gotta let the welfare kid.
Don't forget about your red cap, your red ski cap you put on.
Get my welfare check. Yeah. And everything else you got. I'm not playing. Back the fuck up. Get my Samuel Jackson voice.
Oh my god, you're scaring the kids out there, Corey. You're scaring them.
Back the fuck up. So, look.
All right, what's going on now, Corey? A 2-hour show.
I know, man. I guess it's gonna work out that way.
What happened?
We got on that social.
Let's just delete all that and let's start all over again.
I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna leave it all in there, man.
That has to be in there.
We have to talk to people.
Hey, we can't be all fun and jokes all the time.
I know. We got to get serious sometimes. So, okay.
Yes.
Spill party.
Oh,
a lot of people look. It's already out there.
Oh,
it's already out there. It's we've already said it.
Why do I get a headache every time?
I know, man. Something tells me that this is gonna lead to no good.
I'm scared.
It's already been set for the 18th of October.
So is that a done deal?
It's a done deal. Over at Mother Egan's, I've already put it on the calendar over there. Okay. Now, look, the thing is, you're probably worried because I'm saying party, like we're expecting to just throw down.
I know.
It's more of a first annual. What will happen kind of party.
Yeah, just
we don't know. It's just it's a get together.
Yeah.
I mean, look, if it turns out big, it turns out big. It's not like you get there, we're going to tell you to go away. But
Yeah.
it's sort of it's sort of a mixer. It's sort of a, what I'm officially calling it is a spill. Let's see what happens party.
There you
So
go.
yeah, I'm just putting it out there. I'm gonna plan for it. I'm gonna advertise it,
Right.
but it's gonna be at Mother Egan's here in Austin, Texas. Look it up on the internet. Mother Egan's Irish pub, and it not run by any Irish people, by the way. And it's gonna be on Saturday, the 18th of October. And they said that was a good time to do it over there because it's more of a neighborhood bar for them.
Yeah.
And they'll serve food for us. They'll put out a platter for us and everything.
One platter,
Yeah, one platter, one veggie platter.
devil's eggs.
It'll be
carrots,
some
and
broccoli,
celery sticks.
It'll be some broccoli and
Great
some,
party, Corey.
some ranch dressing. I'm gonna have a clown show up.
A clown with funny shaped balloons. Awesome. Oh my god, I'm gonna hang out with that guy all night.
It's gonna be you. What you talking about?
Oh my God.
I'm gonna put makeup on you.
I'm gonna be blowing up those balloons like the backside of my head. It's coming out of my ass.
No, it's gonna. So here's the deal. Seriously, the agenda is this. It's just a mixer, okay? If you want to come in for it, we already know of some people coming in from out of town. If you want to come in for it, fine. Come hang out with us. We'll make it a lot of fun for you. It won't be bad. And then maybe we'll have an after party at my place or something. I don't know.
At your place.
It depends on what's going on.
Okay.
It depends on how many people show up. I mean, it was like 2 or 3 people who came from out of town. They want to just hang out for the rest of the night. I'd be like, yeah, come back to my place. If it's like 50 you motherfuckers, no, hell no, you ain't turning up my shit.
And any hot girls coming out of town, you can stay with me down here in the basement. And I got sleeping bags, I got some cardboard and some newspaper. Yeah, feel free to spend the night with co-hosts.
Right.
There you go. That's a party unto itself.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm sure they're rushing for that invitation right there.
Run!
So that's Saturday, October 18th at Mother Egan's. There'll be food, there'll be beer, there'll be a DJ that I have there, and like I say, it's sort of a meet and greet to see what we do, and hopefully, if it works out fine, we'll make it bigger and better the next year.
Yeah, we can make it bigger. I think we got some we got a couple of slices of pizza in there.
Yeah.
In their fridge. We can bring it to the party. What else?
Yeah.
We got a half a carton of milk.
Oh man, we got all that stuff left in the refrigerator.
Yeah. We got that. We got that eggnog from last year. That's still good, right?
We still got that Kung Pao chicken in there.
There you go. Yeah.
For our Asian brethren who don't come with the Asian women.
Corey, you can bring some of your lean cuisines.
Get some of those steakums and
Oh, can't forget about the hot pockets, Corey. For all the nerds,
got all those,
all
man.
the League fans.
It's gonna be a blast. We can talk about a party now.
Yeah, that's a real party.
Leftover food. We'll bring some empty beer cans for you to sniff. So yeah, it should be okay. Again, I'll advertise it on the site more and more. I'll tell people about it. But October 18th, Mother Egan's. So mark it down on your calendar. And as co-host says, put that in your taco.
That's right. And I guess if for some reason you guys can't make it, I'm sure down the road we'll probably have another party, huh? You think?
No, we will. I want to see how this works out because
Yeah.
I'm thinking, hey, if this is okay, I'm thinking spring or summer.
Yeah.
We'll try another one.
Yeah. Because I know it's kind of late notice. It's already like end of September, so
People have a month to prepare for it.
Yeah.
So, and I've done this before. That party that I had, I don't know if were you there for the other party that we had?
I think so.
Yeah, the one at the beauty bar.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that came together in a month, and that was kind of big.
That was crazy.
Yeah, but I don't anticipate anything too crazy here. Yeah. Like I said, I just it's a mixer, man.
Yeah, if you show up, you show up.
Yeah,
we'll have a good time. If there's only 3 of you.
Yeah,
we'll hang out.
We're fine with that.
We'll go to the titty bar if there's nothing going on.
Yeah, I'm just giving an excuse to leave early.
At least I will.
Yeah, exactly. If it's only about 3 of you who show up, because it's going to be local people, too.
Come with Uncle Co-host to the titty bar, kids.
Kiddies? Welcome, kiddies. So, yeah, if it's only 3, then that gives us an excuse to crash early, and then we'll go somewhere else. If there's a lot of you, then great. And I'm talking about local people, too. So, let's just see what happens.
We'll have a fun time.
Yeah, we'll have a fun time, no matter what. Might just be me and you co-hosts up there looking at each other.
That'd be pretty damn hilarious.
You want to record? Okay. All right, so I'm gonna stop.
I'm
gonna stop this real quick so we can make sure that the the recording doesn't run out on me.
Get my head on straight again.
All right, hold on. All right, we're back.
Yeah, we're back. Right?
Yeah, sure. I'm back. Are you back?
I'm back.
Got my back. So I got a story here.
Tell me a story, Corey.
Got a story here for you. William Shatner, as we all know, is Captain Kirk. Captain Kirk.
Captain James T. Kirk. Yeah.
Now, J.J. Abrams,
Right.
as we all have heard, is coming out with a Star Trek movie.
Right.
But this is a Star Trek movie that is going to be about the origins of our Star Trek characters, about how they all came to be on the Enterprise, how they went Starfleet Academy and all that good shit.
The birth of legends.
Exactly. So now, of course, there's a story going around that William Shatner was upset that he wasn't asked to be in the movie.
Right.
And I'm thinking it's the origins of Star Trek. What is your old ass going to be doing in there?
Exactly. Well, he was upset he wasn't asked, and then apparently J.J. Abrams came out not too long ago, and he did say that, hey, we did have talks with him where we wanted him to be in the film, but apparently those talks broke down because William Shatner wanted to be the main focus of the film. Like, he wanted to be in the film. He wanted to be the star of the film.
It's about a young Captain Kirk.
He wanted the film to revolve around William Shatner. so obviously, J.J. Abrams like, sorry, but plot really... Didn't you die in the last? Sorry.
And okay, now he talks about that how they said. I think he's kind of joking because I want to say James Kirk, but William Shatner.
Yeah,
he's kind of a cool guy, man. He has a system.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes he's so straight faced, it's hard to tell if he's joking or not. But he's talking about how in this movie he said you could go to the teleporter and bring me back with particles that are lingering in the atmosphere. And the switch on the right you pull, and boom, you got Kirk. It's like
Kirk is there. It's me, William Shatner, greatest actor all time.
Exactly. You go in and you reassemble the atoms that are.
It's science fiction, for crying out loud.
And that's what he said.
Could happen.
That's what he actually said. He's like,
oh, did he?
because I brought back Kirk in one of my books.
Obviously, he brought him back in all his goddamn books, apparently.
Yeah,
he's always like, it's all about him.
Yeah, he's probably making whole movies with him in that fucking costume. That yellow shirt and shit, with that haircut.
I am a living legend.
But this fool here, man. Yeah, but now, he addresses this himself.
Okay. Now, did he do this in an interview or what? Because this is all news to me, to be honest.
He did it in a YouTube video.
Oh, no.
Him and his daughter are sitting there at a table, and they're just talking. And
they did a David Hasselhoff video. Was he drunk when he did this?
Man, who can tell when he's drunk or sober these days? But then he came on.
Was he trying to eat a hamburger? He was doing this.
He's down on the floor with a burrito in his hand. I don't want to be in your fucking movie anyway.
This movie should have been about me. Where's my mustard?
But so yeah, he's sitting at a table with his daughter. His daughter's reading questions to him, and he's sitting up there.
Poor daughter. Yeah, that's all I
and his daughter looks like
now.
She's laughing. Like she's like, "Fuck, he made me do this."
Yeah.
and he's sitting up there like he just woke up, like he just got to eat some cereal. He just cooling at the table, man, at his breakfast table.
Oh my god!
Shooting a fucking YouTube.
Yeah. That poor daughter of his.
I'm gonna go ahead and play this, man.
All right, play it.
I'm gonna. Let me see. I don't know how we're gonna do this.
All right.
Let me see.
All right. This is from J.J. Abrams. We just got a couple business things here.
All right.
As of Monday, September 8th, J.J. Abrams, who is directing the new Star Trek movie,
has
a quote. We actually had written a scene with him, meaning you, in it. That was a flashback kind of thing, but it didn't feel quite right. The bigger thing was that he was very vocal that he didn't want to do a cameo. We tried desperately to put him in the movie, but he was making it very clear he wanted the movie to focus on him significantly, which frankly he deserves. Anyway, it goes on and says, well, his character died on screen. Maybe a smarter group of filmmakers could have figured out how to resolve that.
All right, so
I'm not sure he means himself or other people.
No, all right. JJ's one of the smartest director around, writer-director. He has all these wonderful projects. JJ, I'm going to tell him personally. Okay, JJ, nobody ever came to me and said, we have a cameo. Okay, and maybe you wrote it, but it never presented itself to me. But the truth is, I wouldn't have wanted machine. You know the machine where you suck in the air with the molecules of Captain Kirk hovers, and you reassemble from the molecular structure. Look at the hovering machine, and then you throw the switch on the right. You know, the one on the right, you throw that switch, and then when that switch is done, you throw the one on the left, and out comes Captain Kirk and reassembled. We've got DNA of dinosaurs of 160 million years old. We're trying to right now with our primitive. We're not talking about 2300 now. We're talking about 2008. We're trying to assemble the DNA of a 160 million year old being, and we think we can do it.
Well, I'm
you
hopeful
don't think you can get Captain Kirk back to life?
I think I'm hopeful that this new version will continue, and who knows?
Yeah,
I feel hopeful about the future.
That's wonderful. It certainly is a positive. But JJ, you're a wonderful guy, and you're wonderful, and we've met several times, and I admire you very much. But nobody ever offered me a part in your movie.
All right, now if you look at the video's on YouTube and a lot of other places. Man, go look at it. You could you could tell he wants to say, "Motherfucker, you could have put me in that movie."
Exactly.
He's trying to be cool.
Oh, he's trying to be real cool. And the funny thing is his daughter is actually kind of funny when he talks about bringing himself back. It's like, you know that thing where the molecules and all kinds of craziness happens in that one room, and his daughter's like, she tries not to laugh out loud. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
They're talking about dinosaurs and shit.
Yeah.
We can bring dinosaurs back, but you can't bring back Shatner.
In 2008.
We can bring back a 3 billion year old being in 2008, but you can't bring back Kirk.
Yeah.
What's your fucking problem?
This is the future. And the funniest part of this is if actually you go to YouTube and you check out the William Shatner response to Star Trek director J.J. Abrams, if you look to the right, Corey, I don't know if you noticed, but he has a William Shatner ringtones to myself, and you look at his face on there. Oh my god! What the?
Wait, turn that around.
Look at this! Look at that, dude! Oh my god!
Oh my god!
He looks
People!
Go,
People,
please
you gotta do this.
go and check that out, please.
Go! Yeah, what's the name of it? Type in right now. People, write this down. Type this in. Let me turn that around.
Okay,
Let me see. It's
William Shatner
responds to Star Trek director J.J. Abrams. William Shatner responds to Star Trek director J.J. Abrams. What is that on the right there?
Okay, and right on the right it says, send complimentary William Shatner ringtones to my cell. And it has a picture of William Shatner looking constipated as all hell. His eyes are red. He looks like he's about to explode. It looks like somebody did try to bring him back through that damn transporter thing, and something horribly happened. Something horribly wrong happened. Yeah, he looks like he's all sweaty, and that's by far the worst picture I've ever seen of this guy.
Seriously, this is no joke.
He looks like a goddamn toad.
This is yes, it looks like he's about to eat a mouse. This is the fucking picture. William Shatner of him walking out of a bar at 5:00 in the morning, drunk off his ass. We are not lying. You cannot wait. He's fucking William Shatner. You cannot tell me that is the best picture that they could find of William Shatner for that picture right there.
That's embarrassing.
He looks like
bloodshot eyes. Yeah.
You know in those movies where they bring out the cadaver on the table, like the body that they're carving up for the
bloated,
yeah, for the what do you call it what in those police movies when they have the body on the slab, and they get ready to cut into it, forensics and all that kind of stuff. The autopsy, he looks like an autopsy victim. He looks like a dead body that's a bloated dead body that's on the autopsy table before he gets carved up.
Yeah.
That fool, I cannot believe they put that.
It looks like
picture.
he's full of gas. I'd be terrified to open that motherfucker up.
He looked like it looked like you put a scalpel to his chest. He's gonna explode. That motherfucker looks like some shit out of Saw.
Yeah, he should have thought about getting a different picture.
Hey, do you think he approved that?
Yeah.
Fine, get out of my.
It's on his page apparently.
You know what he did? You know how Shatner is. They probably came up and he probably didn't even see it.
Yeah.
Mr. Shatner, how's this picture? Yes, get out of here.
Yeah, get out of here. I'm writing great things right now.
I'm too busy. I'm busy bringing Kirk back.
Captain Kirk is going to save the human race for the 100 billionth time. It's all up to me, damn it.
Now I have to figure out how to bring back that green bitch that I had sex with.
God God damn it, Chekhov.
That's what that picture looks like. Look like he's saying, God damn it, Chekhov. You know who he looks like? He looks like Scotty. Scotty, you know the actor that played Scotty before he died?
Oh, yeah.
Damn, Shatner, boy, you gotta look at me, man. I'm gonna tell
you.
you.
You made me depressed now, Scotty. I miss Scotty.
Damn.
At least that guy had a sense of humor.
Dude, this is a note to William Shatner. You've got to approve these fucking pictures before you let it out there.
Look before you leap, stupid.
I cannot believe
I'm going to be crucified tomorrow for saying that, Corey. There's legions of Star Trek fans out there.
Shatner, you know he's always on the internet. He'll probably find this. I want them dead. Dead.
His family dead.
Co-host! Co-host! So, all right, man. So we got
So that was fun.
Yeah,
I don't know what he's trying to get out of that, but the movie's already done.
But that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
He has a point. Now, whether it's whether he has the same point that I do or not, he does. I do agree with him, indirectly or directly. If you saw that movie, would you really want to see a cameo by William Shatner?
No,
like a cameo.
Not really.
Wouldn't that bring you out the movie?
It would take me out of the movie, yes. It would take me out of the movie just because, the guy hasn't really taken care of himself. And
damn, you just being mean about
all
it.
All I think about is like,
come on, he's like 80-something years old, man. Come on.
I felt bad seeing him in what was it, Generations or whatever?
Oh, really?
Where he's
you talking about the one Picard?
The last one he did, the one where he dies.
Oh, you talking about Star Trek 5?
Well, isn't that Generations?
That's it. Yeah.
Okay. He was riding around. He's killing that poor horse. He's a big dude. Yeah, he's out in the mountains.
And that horse is like, damn.
Yeah, and he didn't look really that great. And I'm just like, I don't want to see. That's like me looking at a Batman film like 30 years in the future, and he's all fat and bloated. I'm sorry, I just don't want to see that. I don't. That was one of my heroes. I don't want to see the guy fat and bloated and.
Yeah,
hey,
damn, you just got mean about that shit. I wasn't even going there with it.
I hate to say that, but I'm sorry, but it's kind of a joke now.
Damn, see, I was gonna be like all cool about it.
How are you gonna be cool about that?
You just got personal with the man. You just got like
fat, bloated guy now.
Just like
he can barely move his arms.
You're like the motherfucker's fat. I don't want to see him to make a.
Hey, heroes don't gain weight, Corey.
He's all bloated now. Judging by that picture right there, if he looked like that,
he looks terrible
on that YouTube web page that bring him back in CG or something, not like that.
Corey, I'm sorry, but J.J. Abrams looked at him and then he said no. He said no.
You know what J.J. Abrams probably did? It's like, Shatner came up and he's probably on the set.
Yeah.
J.J. Abrams was probably showing him around. He's like, man, Shatner, of course. You got to come in. Yeah, let him in. Yeah. And, they're probably cooling out, having some beers. And, Shatner probably said, being that I was the one that started it all, I really should have a cameo in this. And J.J. Abrams was probably like, Of course. I think get this motherfucker on that. Yes, of course. He probably said, "Oh, Shatner, this is great talking to you, man. Let's talk about this later on." And it's like when he left, he's like, "If that motherfucker calls me, sends me email, I don't want to hear from him."
We move production. That's it.
Tell him I'm busy.
Exactly. No.
What I was going to say was
what were you going to say?
I was going to say that I in a movie like this where they bring Shatner back, it's too much of a wink. Of a wink at the audience. It's like, hey, look, we got him back because we felt obligated to do it. It wouldn't have felt real.
It wouldn't. And the thing is, like, they had Leonard Nimoy in the film, and I don't know how much you're going to see of him. I think I don't even know if he's going to do like some sort of narration, but apparently you're going to see him, and I'm curious how they're going to structure that. But Leonard Nimoy, I mean, as old as he is, he still looks good. I mean, you look at him and you don't have that weight gain to distract you.
Leonard Nimoy was never young. Okay? I challenge anybody to go out there and find a young picture of Leonard Nimoy.
That's a good point, yeah. But the thing is, I'm sorry, but the public just doesn't, I'm sorry I have to be the bearer of bad news, Corey. But the public, they do not want to see their heroes fat and bloated. I'm sorry. They do not want to look like this guy's about to explode any given minute. He should not be out in space. I'm sorry.
Show me that picture one more time.
Look at this motherfucker.
That motherfucker looks like E.T.
I have conquered worlds and tons of women of all different colors, Corey.
Samuel Jackson would hate me.
I'm sorry, but yeah, I'm glad they're not using him. All I would think is, hey, that's the Priceline guy. That's what's he doing in this movie?
All right,
he used
man.
to be Kirk. That's right, used to be.
Okay, all right. You got me there,
Hey,
man.
but hey,
I
you
can't
know
argue
what?
with that.
J.J. Abrams, he knows what he's doing. Let
Yeah.
the guy make his film. When it comes out, hey, you know what? William Shatner, get your ass on that treadmill, and maybe you'll be in the next film, or maybe they can put him in one of those black boxes like they did in that one episode where all you saw was the guy's head. Maybe something
like Futurama.
Yeah, maybe he tried to save the world, and everything around him exploded, and he somehow managed to live. And they got him in one of those black boxes, and you see, when yes and no is a green and red light. That I would sympathize for the character. That is a hero right there, and he's still alive. He's just a head in a black box, but hey.
Hey, look, judging from the head I see on that picture right there, because that picture ain't nothing but a head.
Exactly.
No, they don't need to bring that back.
No.
Bring back his shoes.
I mean, the CG his ass for crying out.
That's what I said.
Yeah, dude, take some shots from him from the old Star Trek and just throw his ass in there. I don't know.
That look like somebody Pixar.
Yeah, I'd rather do that. Yeah.
Bring him back as a dog.
Yeah, William Shatner, you look like shit. I'm sorry, dude. We're using like one of your old shots from the goddamn 1970s show. All right. Sorry, you're in there. You're gonna get a check. All right. That's what matters.
Yeah,
right?
shit.
You're getting a check.
Be happy. You ain't got shit to worry about.
I know.
Talk about a man who's probably getting royalty checks from everything.
Yeah. No, he's well.
I mean, because that motherfucker does everything.
Yeah.
Priceline. He still does one of those legal shows on TV.
No, yeah.
He does a World of Warcraft commercial right now. I mean, fuck,
He's
man.
still writing his
it's like,
book.
if I was J.J. Abrams, he's writing those fucking books. If I was J.J. Abrams, I'd be like, man, what the fuck do you want?
Exactly.
You got enough money.
You have
a
everything.
Yeah,
What do you
why
want
you
from
fucking
me?
with me?
Yeah.
Let me make my movie. Shit.
I got Leonard Nimoy. He's a lot cooler than you.
Leonard Nimoy looking like a goddamn toad like you.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of my studio.
Get out of here! Don't you know
You
who I
don't
am?
fuck who you are.
Created laws. Who are you? Oh, you're William.
Yeah, he's like, that's all I got to do is look at him. He's like, you'd be like that. I'm sorry, Mr. Shatner. Please, I didn't mean to talk to you like that. Get the fuck out of here.
No.
Okay, so.
Okay. Yeah, that was cool. Thanks for sharing that.
No, man, thanks for sharing that with
The
me.
daughter is priceless in this video.
Oh, that daughter.
I thought it was a young daughter, but yeah, she looks like she's like in her.
She's still kind of cute. She's cougarish.
Yeah, she's cool. Yeah, she's laughing. Hey, she
knows.
She's laughing.
Hey,
Yeah, she knows it's silly.
Look,
Yeah.
honestly, to be honest, people,
Yeah.
we're watching this, and if you watch the video, you're going to see them both sitting up there kind of laughing. I mean,
Yeah.
they're both having a good time.
Yeah, they're
with
not
that.
taking it too seriously.
Yeah,
but
Mr. Shatner, I'm sorry.
I guess William Shatner just wants to let everybody know, no, this wasn't true. I wasn't called. Nobody called me. Whatever.
Yeah. Shit,
but-
he's going to go swim in your money.
Exactly.
Son of a bitch.
You'll be fine.
And have sex with a green chick.
Exactly.
So, did you think William Shatner ever made a girl paint herself green before he had sex?
I hope so.
God
God knows I would. If I was him, hell yeah. Every girl be painting their fucking ass green.
Shatner, goddammit, go paint yourself.
Here's some paint. Now go to the other room and don't come out till you're done. I want every part of you painted green.
Every
Your
part.
ass crack. Everything. Everything. I'm William Shatner. I saved universes, and I will have my green ass.
Yeah. I will have my green ass. That's funny. What'd you say? I will have my green ass.
I will have my green ass.
All right. Okay, so, oh, shit.
what's going
Late
on?
breaking news here, man.
Oh, what?
Oh, fuck.
Oh, no, you scaring me, Corey.
No. It just came in, man. This is pretty big. Oh, fuck. I'm glad we're doing this show so that I got this.
All right. What's up?
Brace yourself, man. This is huge.
Somebody die?
Will Ferrell has taken the hint that his sports movies aren't doing well. And he says that, this is a quote.
All right.
I will no longer attempt to do any sports movies anymore. Any sports. Yeah, I'm retired from sports genre films. I think I filled my quota.
That's the late breaking news.
That's the late breaking news.
My God.
Let me tell you something.
Thought we were in a war with Japan or something.
know,
Like, oh
shit.
no!
Oh, fuck.
We're screwed.
They caught Osama bin Laden. He was hanging out with Shatner.
Oh,
He moved next door to Samuel Jackson. He brought a white woman with him. No, I'm sorry. Osama bin Laden moved next door to Samuel Jackson with a black woman.
Oh my God.
And then Samuel Jackson became the terrorist.
Oh
A
God.
jihad on your motherfucking ass.
I like your first joke better.
Oh, fuck you, man. If you can even call that a joke.
No,
was a
whatever
stretch.
that was. Oh my God. Okay, so Will Ferrell will no longer do sports movies.
Okay, we'll see that
Yeah,
if that's
we'll
true.
wait and see,
But
yeah.
no, okay, I'm kind of joking around. That James sent this to me from the site, and I actually got this earlier today, and I did want to talk about it because I've been saying for the longest time before. Here's a whole article right here. It came from Filmonic, and it says that Ferrell takes the hint, and they put it up in a question and answer form. It says, question: what do Kicking and Screaming, Talladega Nights, Blades of Glory, and Semi-Pro have in common? Answer: they are all Will Ferrell movies that involve sports and involve him playing the same person. And I've said this for the longest time. Now, finally, Will Ferrell has taken the hint that people are getting tired of them after Semi-Pro was a bit of a flop. I was saying this after Blades of Glory, and I like Blades of Glory.
Yeah, I liked it too.
Yeah, I thought it was funny, but I said, how long can he really keep this going?
Yeah.
And then Semi-Pro came out, and I said, well, I'll give it a chance. It's Will Ferrell. I actually like Will Ferrell. I don't like that he plays the same guy over and over again. And guess what? In that movie, he played the same fucking guy over and over again, except it wasn't as funny as his other sports movies.
I never saw it, so yeah.
Look, I like to see anybody who has exhausted their how should I put it, their talent in one particular area. I feel bad for anybody who has done that.
Like Eddie Murphy.
That's a whole. Please don't say that, Nick. That'll be a whole another 2 hours. But Will Ferrell, I think, is a very talented guy, and I've seen him. There's one movie where he played a serious role. I think it was a small one, but I didn't see the movie, and I can't remember the name of it. But of course, everyone brings. Did you see it?
What? No, I never saw it, but I want. Is it Stranger Than Fiction?
No, Stranger Than Fiction is the one where he was the star, and he did very well in that. And if you go back and watch The Oblongs, he did a voice in that, and it's obvious that this guy doesn't have to do the same goofy, retarded sports guy that he always plays.
Right.
And I really have faith in this guy's talent, and I would like to see him do something else. And to hear from him say that, that even gives me more faith in him, because he really does need to move on to something else.
Yeah, he does. I mean, well, the thing is, he comes out with a movie like almost every year. I mean, obviously the public's going to get tired of it, especially if it's the same bullshit. But
yeah,
you know, how long can you laugh at the same jokes? But
yeah, I mean, I was a little more. God damn it, co-host! You swear you gave me some. But I was a little aggressive towards. Now, if people think I'm just aggressive towards movies that are about things that bother me, like race, it's not even that. I was probably a little more aggressive towards Step Brothers. Or Step Brother, I don't know, I forgot what it's called, but I was probably a little more aggressive towards that movie because I was tired of seeing Will Ferrell do the same shit. I mean, that movie was the same thing he had done over and over again, except it didn't involve sports.
Right.
So it's not even the sports genre movies, okay? Quit playing the same fucking character.
Yeah, well, obviously, you know, they get too comfortable in making those kind of movies, and they just start dialing it in. And I mean, the public's not stupid at that, and they're going to get tired if you're not even trying to go out of your way to make something, at least something different. Yeah, the public's going to go, you know, no, that's bullshit. I'm sick of spending my money on the same crap. You know, I'll just watch Talladega Nights
because it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same crap, but it's better. So,
but it's funny because there was a time when I would say it, and even jokingly now, we often have a tendency to say that the audience is stupid. These audiences, they don't know, but they take what they get, and they're actually smarter than we give them credit for.
No, they are. Yeah.
And like you said, they recognize that this is the same shit over and over again. Will Ferrell doing not say, running in, just doing, screaming and hollering like, I hate you, you know, like, I want to hear that shit, all right? Yeah. I mean, I've seen it over and over again.
Right.
Oh, your hair is bigger in this movie. Oh, your hair is different in that movie, but you're still doing the same shit.
Yeah.
All right, God damn it, enough is enough.
And that's true. I mean,
and this is nothing that I think if I did, because I did an interview with Will Ferrell once before, and it was really hard.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
And I'm not saying this. Hey, I talked to Will Ferrell. Yeah. No, it's not. It's not.
Was that one of the uncomfortable interviews?
Yeah,
because I
didn't like the movie.
You didn't like the movie, and obviously they were trying to get it out of you.
Yeah, and look, people, I would say, and the reason I brought that up is not name dropping because Will Ferrell doesn't know me. I mean, I was just in an interview. I'm telling you this to let you know that. look, I don't think I can. I'm not the kind of guy that can go in and just eat cheese and smile in front of somebody. I think I have a tactic. I have tact, and I think I can go around it. But I think if I was actually to come face to face with Will Ferrell again, I would actually say, man, I think you're brilliant, but what can I tell you? I don't.
You're fucking up. Dude.
Yeah, I don't like your movies that you make right now because you're doing the same guy. I mean, I have yet to be put in that position, but I'm waiting for the time.
I mean, the real question to ask him is like, are you getting tired of your movies that you're making?
You know what? That is a good question. And I mean, I don't know. Maybe you should be asking these questions, man. We should put you in do an interview. I think we're gonna let you do that next.
All right. I don't want to do that.
You wouldn't want to do interviews with anybody?
I don't like. I don't like talking to celebrities. I don't know what it is, but I
really.
I honestly don't. No. I mean, it's one of those things where I don't mind. Like if I accidentally come across one, just shooting the shit with them. But when it comes to doing promotion and shit like that, I mean, there's always a page. I always expect somebody. If I were to ask a question like that, I'd expect somebody to come in the room and go, "This interview's over." I mean, I'm just waiting for that. I mean, and I'd be willing to do that just because maybe I'd be in a better position doing something like that just because I wouldn't care. I wouldn't so much care. I wouldn't be starstruck. I'm not starstruck by a celebrity.
I think you should try and do that sometime. I mean, because I myself, I'm not starstruck by celebrities at all. I mean, I'm not, and I'm not saying that because that's not to say that I won't come in and say I respect somebody.
No, there's a lot of people out there I definitely do respect, but there's if somebody's doing something, I mean.
But you have to come in and do a job. You have to talk. You can't. It's not so much that I'm taking this sort of attitude like I ain't impressed. Right. You have to take an attitude where you can't be starstruck. You have to be clear-headed and talk to them like people. If you come in and do this thing, oh hey, how you doing? They're not gonna want to talk to you.
No, they don't. They find it boring. You always look at those type of interviews that they do that, and you can tell they're just kind of like. They're sleeping through it. I mean, they're talking about it, but they said the same thing a billion times. Nobody's really giving them any real honest to God questions. Yeah, and you can tell they're not putting any effort into the answers.
But to
where if I were to come in and just go, hey, are you getting tired of the movies that you're making? If I'm lucky and if he's like honest enough with himself and with his audience, it'd be great to have him go, yeah, honestly, I am, and. I don't know how this movie's going to do. I mean, I did this movie for obvious reasons, but, you tell me. Maybe he'll ask me, hey, what did you honestly think about it? And I'll tell him, you know what? I honestly, I don't think it's working anymore.
You know something? I've had people kind of do that. And on some of the interviews where it's not a press junket, because for press junkets, it's they manufacture them so that you sit down and you kind of talk about the movies. So they won't really ask you, but that doesn't mean that you can't ask other things that kind of challenge them. And you can't look, if anybody does that, you can't go in with an attitude of like, I'm going to tell this person off. It's not No, you have to do it with respect.
They get that. Yeah, they get that from the get go.
And and so that's why I like doing it, because it's a good way for me to test myself and see what's the best way to communicate with people. Right. I mean, because really you can't have any ego yourself.
Right.
You have to. There is a certain amount of humbleness that has to go with, and you have to be ready to talk to people. I think with someone like Will Ferrell, I think I could go in and ask that kind of question, like you're saying, saying like, "Come on, I mean, don't you want?" And I did ask him that. I mean, he said he actually took it as like that was a good question. Instead of just coming in and saying, "Man, ain't you sick of doing these kind of?" I was like, "Do you want to move on to do more serious things? I mean, you've done this for so long." And he was just like. Yeah, I would like to.
Because I tell you what, in the back of their heads, the majority of those actors that are stuck in positions where they're doing roles like this, they want to break out of that because it's kind of what's expected out of them. I mean, I'm sure their agents are saying, "Check out this script. It was written for you, and this is your audience. This is your target." And you get battered. You get battered with that crap of on your head all the time. You're gonna believe it. Where you don't have a friend there to tell you, "Hey, dude, maybe you need to move on and do something different because I can tell like it's wearing thin on you because you're not trying anymore. You're not trying to bring out the best performance. You're not trying to make yourself funny anymore. You're just kind of dialing it in."
Yeah.
And me being as your friend, I see that. And
it's what you said.
And the audience is going to see that.
Yeah, we had a talk earlier, man. I don't know if it's making it into this or not, but we had a talk and we were talking about how certain directors and producers and a lot of people, they just, even people like us, I mean, even anybody needs somebody to sit around and just challenge them all the time and tell them, sometimes you need to think about what you're doing.
Yeah.
And don't have a yes man around you.
And that's the thing. And that's the problem because Hollywood is plagued with yes men. I mean, and it's all for different reasons. You know, everyone has their own agenda. You know, trying to make a name for themselves for whatever reasons. And a lot of times, I think a lot of these actors, they don't have somebody to really honestly tell them, you know, think about the roles you're doing. Does that bring any challenge to you? Does that bring any challenge to your performance? Nobody's there saying that at all. It's all about, you know, these handcrafted scripts that are made for these actors. A lot of times they turn down just because it's the same role a lot of times. And that's why I think Tom Cruise is a perfect example. I think he was doing certain movies at a certain part of his career, and then he ended up getting an acting coach. And I think, like,
really,
yeah, I want to
never knew that.
Yeah, and I want to say that I think for a while I think he was just doing scripts that were kind of catered to him, but they weren't doing much for him. And I can't remember if he either hired somebody or ended up firing somebody, but he got somebody to like look over scripts and started to choose projects that he really, you know, felt like, you know, this is something he'd be interested in, and that's when like movies like Collateral and The Last Samurai all kind of came about. And then after that, obviously, something happened where he went crazy. Obviously, but
I snapped somewhere.
Yeah,
in there
I do remember that he did end up, and like I said, you can look this up. I wish I could have time to look this up at myself, but I want to say that I do remember him like really being concerned about the at least where his career was going.
It's that whole crazy shit that he did kind of overshadowed the attempts that he was making because. Yeah. I mean, if what you're saying is right, I do look at something like Collateral, and he got a lot of critical praise for that movie.
Oh yeah,
and he was great in that role, man.
He was fantastic. That was the first role where he really stood out to me, where I'm like, you know what, any kind of problems or you know, things I had with Tom Cruise, they all kind of disappeared after I saw Collateral, because I was like, wow, he really like, and you could tell he really went out of his way to really make that character a character. And I never thought about Tom Cruise while I was watching that film.
And what about Tropic Thunder just now? Kind of the same thing. I mean, right when the shit is getting heavy with him and people are making fun of him, he's like, you know what? Maybe I should do something where I make fun of myself now.
Exactly. And you know what? And yeah, you're absolutely right about that. And that's a good move. I mean, because one performance can do a lot for your career. It's like Collateral did for him. I mean, it swayed my opinion of him big time. That and The Last Samurai.
Yeah.
I was really just like, wow, Tom Cruise, he's an actor.
Yeah.
And then, of course, all that crazy shit happened.
And then
he goes on Oprah and he fucks it all up.
Goddamn, tearing up a couch on Oprah and getting on like fucking making a YouTube video where he's sitting up there. I just want to help the world, and you know, you can't help me, motherfucker. You're not acting like that. But I think Will Ferrell needs to do something like that. I don't know. Maybe he should try and play a villain. I don't know. I mean, but he just needs to. Something needs to happen, because there is a pattern here of doing the same thing, and I hate to see people who, if I thought that was the only thing he could do, then fine, then ride it out for what it's worth. But I think he's kind of gridlocked now. He needs to come out of that shit.
Well, think about but then again, it could have a negative effect, like I'll say Jim Carrey, where he was doing the pet detective type roles, and then he took a turn trying to be serious, but.
He chose the wrong scripts, though, man.
He did. He chose.
He chose the what is that movie? The Majestic.
Majestic.
I thought he was good in that movie, but it was sort of a sappy movie that just didn't resonate with people.
Yeah.
And then he did. What was it?
Did Truman Show come out?
Truman Show was
before or after that?
Honestly, I can't remember.
I think it came before that.
But then he did Number 23.
Yeah,
and that was a dumbest thing, man. That was
silly.
I mean, another thing, go look at a picture of him in Number 23. Just his hairstyle alone made him look fucking stupid in that movie. All right, I mean, that was just a bad project overall for him. If you're gonna make a turn, you better be careful, and you probably shouldn't do it with a mainstream movie. You probably should do it with more of a smaller film or independent film and work your way into that. Yeah. I mean, Michael Keaton did it. I forgot what it was. Straight and Sober, I believe, or something like that.
Clean and Sober.
Clean and Sober. He did. Everybody knew him as being funny. He did Clean and Williams.
Clean and Sober came out before Batman too.
Yeah.
I think that's where a few people were convinced that he could pull off Batman because of that film.
Yeah, it's a smart move. And then Robin Williams, to say the least, has done it.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm trying to think of some other comedians who've made that switch. There's been quite a few.
Adam Sandler.
He
did Punch Drunk Love.
Punch Drunk Love, and then he recently did that movie with Don Cheadle, and the movie I don't think was all that great, but he was all right in the movie. The Adam Sandler can do it. I'm convinced that he can. But yeah, you just got to be careful. You got to if you're going to ride that wave for a long time of being this funny character, you got to be careful what projects you choose.
And that's the thing, being careful about the projects you're picking. But it is difficult though. I mean, because there are a lot of scripts that just aren't that good, and people still need to work. So they'll go, well,
it's easier said than done. We can sit up here and say what you should do.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, man, we ain't. We're not making movies every day. Our career doesn't rely on making movies. We just make fun of people doing it. That makes us the assholes. Yeah. So yeah, just as a movie watcher, I just say even though we make fun of people, I have a lot more faith than our audiences might actually know. And I just like to see people move on, regardless of how we come across. We actually hope for the best for anybody.
Yes. Hey, thank God Sylvester Stallone made Rambo. I mean, who honestly thought, when you heard about the last Rambo? I was laughing when I heard that, but when I saw it and he directed it, I was like, wow, it's like he put his heart and soul in this guy.
Yeah, Rambo and Rocky,
and
man.
It's awesome, yeah.
The latest Rocky, I like that one a lot. Anyway, you want to get into some email now?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we read one email earlier. Okay. Oh, tell you what. Somebody sent me a good story. This comes from Ghost Rider.
Oh,
now, you know Ghost Rider on the site?
Of course, yeah. I know Ghost Rider, the skull burning.
Oh, you know her then?
Riding. No.
Oh no! The reason why I said ghost burning because Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider. Forgive me if I put all your business out there, but she has some experience with the crematorium.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And she sent me look, she sent me a cool story. It's almost like tales from the crematorium.
Awesome.
She sent me because she told me, she's like, there's some strange things that happen, some horrible things that happen, and I got some stories for you. She sent me, this one's gruesome, man. Got to tell you this.
Let's hear it.
Okay. It says a 35-year-old woman working in a crematory, as a tech was loading an overweight case, I guess a big man.
William Shatner?
It was loading William Shatner into the retort, and that's called the burn chamber. When it got stuck halfway in, and she says, this happens to me a lot, and some of these dudes okay, I ain't reading all that shit. She's going, what is this in? Okay. She says, and this happens a lot. Well, to set this up, the machine has a hydraulic door that didn't have the safety. Let me put this closer to me because I can't see. All right, let me start. Okay. Well, to set this up, her machine had a hydraulic door that didn't have the new safety latch installed to prevent the door from falling and dropping. These doors are solid steel and weigh 400 pounds.
Yeah.
So, while she was leaning in to push the case into the crematory burn chamber, her door failed and dropped when she started the machine automatically. When her co-workers showed up, they found her half cremated, the other half sticking out of the machine.
Oh.
Isn't that fucking horrible, man?
Did this happen? This really happened?
Well, she ends this with, true story.
Did it happen? Okay, now where does she live?
I don't know, and if I did, I wouldn't even say. But
okay, right. Oh yeah, that's a good. I'm sorry.
No,
yeah, that's fucked up.
Can you imagine? That is a horror story, man.
I'm hoping it's not true, but yeah.
Okay, now you know.
Oh, I know.
In a crematory, I call it a crematorium. I thought it was called, but a crematory, whatever it is, you know that those things they are designed to burn bone.
Yeah.
I mean, everything is ash.
Everything is burnt. Yeah, it becomes ash. Yeah.
And Jesus Christ, man! Can you imagine being burned alive in that kind of heat?
Oh my God!
Half your body's gone.
I always think about Return of the
Living Dead. Yeah. when that guy turns into a zombie, he puts himself in the oven. You hear it close, like,
oh my God! Jesus, that also sounds like an opening scene of 6 Feet Under. Always something crazy, something nuts always happens.
Somebody always kills themselves
at the very beginning. Yeah, something accidentally happens.
Now I do. I mean, look, I know horrible things.
Why did she tell you that, Corey?
Because I asked her to. She said she has some stories, and she's been sending me more.
Oh,
but,
wow,
man, dude, can you imagine, man?
I don't want to imagine.
Look, now this is what I want to say. she says that she wasn't there for that, and she didn't come in and find the body.
Right.
It was passed down to her.
Right.
I'm going to say it's one of those crematory urban legends because I don't want to believe something like that happened to somebody.
But I can believe it. But that's
a 400-pound door. Imagine the panic that must be on your face when you realize that you cannot get out of that door and the heat comes on. Oh my God, man! Jesus Christ!
I'm gonna hide under the covers.
You tell you what, you better just get a broomstick and push William Shatner in that shit. Because
that's why there should never be two. There should never be one person in a crematorium from now on. There should be two people in there, making sure the other person doesn't fuck up.
But see, this is what makes me think that it's probably an urban legend. I mean, because I would imagine that door is not going to start the fire until it's completely locked shut.
Yeah.
And if something is wedged in there, it can't trigger off the fire because it's not shut down all the way. And plus, that heat is meant to stay in, so it's going to wait for the door to be shut before it starts.
It's going to fill up the room.
Yeah. I'm not saying I don't know.
The human body itself. I mean, it's not that easy to just chop off part of the body regardless of the door. I mean, it takes a lot.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it chopped off. I don't think it chopped off the body at all.
It would have kept. It would have kept.
It would have been. It was a wedge. It was like it's like a door wedge. I mean, it's not going to go all the way down.
Yeah. And I'd be curious how many people were actually around. I mean, I'm sure you can hear somebody screaming.
Fuck! I don't even want to imagine it. I mean, but see the thing. She's trying to put in this overweight guy.
Yeah.
Now, I would imagine that if the door came down and she was trying to put him in, the body probably wasn't all the way in there. The dead body, that is.
I would think it would have to be because you're
so you're thinking
you're
like
halfway in. Yeah, she put it in.
She put it already in. She's on her way out, and it's like, bam.
And it just came down.
Oh, fuck. Woo! Jesus Christ, man.
I need to put that in a movie.
Somebody's going to do it now.
Yeah.
I should tell her, hey, Ghostwriter, you should actually write a script with that in there. I mean, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
That'd be one of those, one of those Final Destination way to die. I'm
terrible. I'm scared now that the family of that victim is going to write to us. That was true. That was my mother.
Well, we didn't do anything. Hey, we didn't mention any names.
No, we didn't. But, oh my God.
That was my mother. Make it like the Crypt Keepers calling us up.
Oh my God. This show just turned into something else.
Oh man, that's gruesome.
It's
not even October yet.
I know, exactly. Save that for Halloween.
Scary.
Ooh, do I got a scary story?
Scary kids about the crematory. All right, we have a question here from Eugene. Yeah. And let's see. Eugene's question is,
where do babies come from?
Let me bring this up close again like I do. People think I can't read like I'm illiterate. It's just that it's very small type and the computer's far away. It's like an after school special. Corey can't read. Okay. Eugene's question here is, do you think that with the recent success of independent releases, i.e. Juno, that we might see more mainstream Hollywood movies deviating from their expected structure?
No,
I do not.
Nope.
No, and he sets it up, and maybe I should have read the setup. He says that aspiring screenwriters must follow a rigid structure for their stories in order to be successful, and have subsequently relegated non-standardized scripts to independent filmmakers. And what he's saying is that it seems like these days that most stories that screenwriters are writing their scripts for, they're for movies that follow a very tight structure, pretty much a formula in a way. And because Hollywood wants to make money.
Yeah, Hollywood is a business. It's about selling people what they already know, stories they're already familiar with. And that leaves no room for really independent films like Juno now. When movies like Juno come out, even the best example, Napoleon Dynamite. I mean, that's like lightning in a bottle sometimes, where you catch a film like that by luck. But granted, a lot of the independent films that come out aren't Napoleon Dynamite and aren't Juno. I mean, when it does happen, it's great, but a lot of times there aren't a lot of scripts being turned in like that, and it's tricky to try to come up with a lot of those movies are by accident. You know,
Yeah.
when they do come out,
And
and a lot of times the studios don't even want to touch them.
Yeah.
So
it is a bigger struggle right now for the independent film to be released in recent years, and I have no numbers for it. But there was like I said, there was an article that I read where it said like Hollywood is pretty much not cutting back only on independent films, but also on mainstream movies as well.
Yeah.
They're not releasing as many movies as they used to. So with that said, independent film, which was already kind of struggling and has gone through ups and downs, they're probably going to catch the brunt of that decision.
Yeah.
And something like Juno is just one of those movies that just somehow got lucky, man.
Yeah.
Even with that whole Academy Award nomination thing for best picture, it won for best screenplay, which I knew it would, but for best picture, that's luck.
Yeah.
They just happened to fall into a position where the Academy chose it because they want to come across as cool.
Yeah.
It's not because the movie itself
exactly,
was
you
all
watch
that
the
great.
movie and you're just like,
Yeah, exactly. And Juno, let's not forget, Juno had some Hollywood players behind it. Ivan Reitman's son, I forgot his first name, directed that movie. And then we had Ellen Page, who was already sort of an established actor. It's not truly something small like Napoleon Dynamite, which had hardly any familiar faces in there.
right. Jason Reitman directed.
Jason Reitman, thank you for looking. Yeah, and so even movies like that have to struggle, even with all the star power behind
Right.
it. But yeah, you're right, co-host. You're not gonna. It's lightning in a bottle. It's luck, and you're not going to see that all the time. The good side about that is that this article said that if you truly believe in what you're doing, and if it's good, it might rise above everything else because people are going to be more selective about what they make. And be putting no bullshit out.
Right.
So with that said, they said if you believe in it, and if it gets 1 foot off the ground, people will follow it who will want to help you make that film.
Yeah.
And that's more important for the smaller movies. They said you'll get a crew, you'll get a cast because once other people start believing in it, it snowballs.
Yeah, but so I mean, when those movies come out, just be thankful that you have the opportunity to see it. To where a lot of these films they get shot and sometimes they never see the light of day or get released to DVD and but the good ones, I mean, the good ones you will eventually hear about. I mean, there's nothing stopping word of mouth on a great film. So
yeah, no, that is true.
So yeah, just be thankful, that you have the opportunity to see a movie like Juno or Napoleon Dynamite, because Hollywood, they're not going to go out of their way to make movies like that at all.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, we have email here, and this is a good one because this is something I've always wondered. It's by David Armendariz. And David says...
What does David say?
He says, yesterday I saw North by Northwest and I really enjoyed it. Anyways, in the scene where Cary Grant is attacked by the man in the crop duster, I couldn't help but think there were probably better ways to try and kill him. So do you have any other stupid ways that someone tried to kill someone else but failed? He didn't say this, but I'm sure he's talking about in movies. They have to fail. So, no, I'm not going to read that part. Anyway, you know what? North by Northwest is one of my favorite movies, and that scene is a classic scene.
Oh yeah,
but you got to think, someone hired someone to kill somebody with an airplane.
And I tell you what, that scene, I mean, it takes a lot of time to build. There's a lot of build up to that scene. I mean, I think like 3-4 cars pass by before you're wondering, okay, what the hell is going on in this scene?
Yeah,
and then I guess a guy. Guy shows up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
He tells Cary Grant, oh, that's odd. Look at that crop duster over there.
That's right.
Dusting where there's no crops.
That's right. That's what happens. In the movie, okay, North by Northwest is a great movie, but I have to admit, it's not only in that middle part right there, but even the end, if you ask me, is a disappointment because it's kind of a cop-out. I mean, it's ridiculous almost. But it's a great movie. Cary Grant he's in a case of mistaken identity.
Right.
And this big government espionage deal going down. And these killers mistake him from some important guy, and he's getting chased across country trying to avoid these people that he doesn't even know anything about. So he gets led to the middle of nowhere, and it's a great scene though. It starts out with him getting in the middle of nowhere. He gets off a bus, I think.
Yeah,
or another guy gets off a bus, and he gets off a bus and there's a guy waiting across the street.
Yeah.
And he doesn't know if this is somebody he's supposed to meet, if this guy's in on it. And then he just waves at him. And you're right, there's an old guy. He comes over and he's like, yeah, kind of hot today, or something like that.
Yeah, he's just shooting the shit. Yeah,
And then he's like, and then that plane goes by.
yeah.
And he's like, nah, that's odd. And Cary Grant, being Cary Grant, like, what's odd? And he's like, that plane's dusting crops. He's like, yeah, so? Well, it's dusting crops. Well, there's no crops. And he gets on his bus and leaves. And, of course, when the guy's gone, the plane's like,
Yeah, you see like a long shot. Yeah, you just see a shot with a plane, and it's about a 10-minute shot where you just... And he's just like standing there like, what the hell?
and he starts running.
Yeah, he starts running.
And it's a classic scene.
Oh,
but,
it's a great scene.
But
yeah.
you have to think, that's the most classic scene in one of Hitchcock's library of films. And you're thinking, why the fuck did they choose to kill him with a plane? How come they're in the middle of nowhere? They could have got somebody to meet him there, take him off in that cornfield, and cap his ass.
And all I'm thinking is like, okay, are they trying to kill him with the blades? That's what I thought.
Well, they're shooting at him. Well, did they shoot at him?
They did shoot at him. Well, first they tried to run him over. They tried to run him over with the plane. I guess they tried to use the propeller to kill him. And then like later on, all of a sudden they start using a gun. And you can't really determine because as soon as the plane flies away, now you don't know if there's another guy in that plane shooting or what, but obviously he's being shot at. So he's running all over the place. He's diving into the crops, and then they use like the dust and the crop duster. They use that to get him out.
It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
it's like there could have been a much. And on top of
yeah.
that, they hired the lousiest pilot because
oh my God, yeah.
Cary Grant runs towards a truck, and it's the pilot. I guess he's like literally just following him because he crashes into the truck.
Yeah, and it looks like his whole mission was to crash in that truck because there's no reason. I mean, you watch the scene. There's no reason why he just slams right into the back of his tanker truck.
Yeah,
it's
a fuel truck.
It's a fuel truck. Yeah, and you see, all of a sudden it's like for a split second he like loses control of the plane. He's like, meep, meep, meep. And you see the funny thing. Okay, now to set this up, the funniest thing is that Cary Grant, he's trying to stop the fuel truck. Right?
Yeah.
He sees the fuel truck coming. He's waving it down. Stop! And the truck's like meep, meep, meep. The truck has no intentions on stopping, and it practically runs him over. And he's underneath the truck.
Oh, that's
and as soon as he's underneath the truck, the plane just meep, meep, meep. And it's just like a gust of wind or something takes control. And that fucking plane just goes right into the tank. And,
that's a dude that was
up.
Yeah, he was dedicated to his
and the
job.
thing is, the funny thing is that the plane explodes as soon as it hits the tank. But thank God the guys in the truck are still all right. Everybody in front of who are in the truck are fine. They all jump out and they're like, "Let's get the hell out of here!"
And they're looking at like, "Oh, it's fire!
It's a fire!"
And I guess that pilot was like way dedicated to his job. He's like, "I gotta die to kill this motherfucker."
Kamikaze pilot or something.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
Kamikaze!
Why don't you at least hit the part of the truck where the guy is at?
You had a gun, shoot the tank, and blow that shit up.
something.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
Fuck that movie. That movie ain't a classic now. Fuck it. Hitchcock was stupid. No, I still love that movie, man.
No,
That's one of the greatest
film.
soundtracks that I've had the soundtrack to that movie.
Yeah.
Love that movie to death.
It is funny though.
Yeah. Let's see what we got here next.
Next.
Let's see. No. Oh, they ask what are other ways to kill a person.
That's right. That's right.
I would just real quick. I would just say there's a lot of James Bond movies where people have made fun of that fact. Where they got one movie, Goldfinger, where they tie James Bond up and they have a laser going towards his crotch, and while the villain sits up there and explains, and I'm like,
explains the
something. You got a gun. I mean, the motherfucker's gonna come back. Shoot his ass.
Just shoot him. Yeah. Don't talk to him. Don't tell him your whole plan.
Yeah. Ego always gets the supervillain down,
Classic.
man. Yeah. Don't explain shit. All right.
Do you expect me to talk? No, Mr. Bond. I expect you to die. At least we got that line out.
Yeah,
that
good,
was
yeah.
worth it.
All right. Let's see what we got here next. Okay. Oh, here's one. Mm-hmm. Hey, Corey. Here's another question for Coco. If you were to remake a movie you thought was a fuck up, would you remake it into a better film, and why? Well, yeah, if I was going to remake it. No, I would remake it into a worse movie.
I want it to be terrible.
No, I want it to be worse than the movie I'm remaking. I don't want to be shit. No. Okay. My personal choice would be to remake Eragon because it was such a great story and has such a shitty movie that it would deserve to be remade. Hey, that's from my friend, the Canadian movie guru.
Oh,
hey, you the movie guru. You can make whatever you want to.
Look at that guy. Yeah.
Aragon was the movie about the dragon. The boy who finds a dragon and
that's
he becomes
right,
like the
that's right.
legendary dragon rider.
Isn't that
or
based off
something.
a book, though?
It's based off a series of books written at first, initially by a 15-year-old kid, I think.
Oh, that's right.
But this is going to seem kind of arrogant on my part. But if and look, this is no different from what anybody else is. It's just one of those movies where I thought about how much better it could have been made, and how and the weight that was behind it.
Yeah.
The Star Wars prequels.
Oh, yeah.
I would go back. Honestly, there's a lot of movies I could say I would go back and remake, but that's the one I would say. Hey.
One of my biggest dreams is that somebody down the road will have the guts to actually convince 20th Century Fox to remake the prequels. And
Yes.
that would be amazing. Yeah,
That would be truly. Look, I'm not even saying me. If anybody said, Corey, your dream job, here, I'm going to give you this much money to remake any movie you want to.
Yep.
We'll go back and remake the Star Wars prequels.
I agree.
But
I
I'm
totally
hoping
agree.
that somebody will actually do it one day, like you said. I agree with you totally. So there you go.
I hope it happens.
Yeah, I would love. Man, please, somewhere down the line, let me be 80 years old.
Yeah.
And just let me see people come back and do it right.
Make Darth Vader cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Make him
Instead
cool
of making
again.
him, yeah, exactly. Darth Vader ain't shit now. You know,
I
now we
know.
see Darth Vader and we imagine who's behind
I
that
know.
mask, and
Yeah.
we're like,
Well, it's sad when I see Darth Vader on what is it, Soul Calibur, one of those games, one of those fighting
fuck
games.
me,
and I'm like,
man, yeah.
Is that Darth Vader on a Soul Calibur game? I'm like, nah.
yeah, whatever.
What happened to him?
All right, we have a couple more here.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. This is from. Okay, I'm gonna read this. He's new here.
All right.
My name is Frank. Hi, Frank.
Hello, Frankie.
And he says, I'm new to Spill. And I have a couple of questions that you could use in a couple of cold ones, which is what we're doing now. What are your thoughts on making a Jurassic Park 4 movie? I would like to know this because, wait a minute, what did he say? Okay, he says, I would like this, but only if Spielberg could direct it, because Jurassic Park 3 was very weak. Boy, have I got something to say to you. And question 2, what do you think about the talks of Spider-Man 4 and 5 being shot at the same time? And Toby and Sam might have already signed on for it. Well, they have signed on for it. So he goes on to say, for me, Spidey 3 was garbage. I remember walking out of the movie with me and my sister, and we both didn't have anything to say about it. We were in shock. I would even... He said, I would buy it to complete my collection, but okay, he didn't like the movie. I don't need to read all the rest of that shit. I get
He
it.
didn't have the guts to buy it. Is that what he said?
I don't know what I
Okay.
don't care after that point.
Yeah.
But anyway, Frank, let me tell you something, man. You're talking about Jurassic Park 3. Go back and watch Jurassic Park 2. Jurassic Park 3 was actually an improvement over 2.
Yeah.
2 was fucking ridiculous.
It was ridiculous. And I'm one of those people in those camps that I thought Part 3 was honestly... I thought it was better than the first two. I mean,
It was. I mean,
yeah.
the first one's only better because it's
it's the first
original.
time. It's the first. Yes, the original is directed by Spielberg. You see the dinosaurs for the first time. Like
Exactly.
somebody brought them to life. Yeah, that you give a lot of credit. But as far as just being excited about seeing dinosaurs run wild, Part 3 was the one that did it for me because it's everything that I wanted to see those dinosaurs do, and you know. And I mean, it just thrilled me from the start to finish. I mean,
Yeah, it's not a perfect movie.
and it's not a perfect movie.
Tia
no.
Leone in that movie is fucking annoying.
She is really annoying.
And the fact that they're going to look for another kid, I'm thinking,
Right.
come on, let's drop that shit.
And
I
that
mean, the
kid-
kids get lost
yeah.
on that island, all right?
Yeah, and that kid's like Batman.
Yeah, well, let me tell you
kid's like
something.
saving lives
If a
on
kid
that-
is
on that.
trapped on an island full of man-eating dinosaurs, that kid's gone, all right?
He's gone.
That motherfucker
yeah.
ain't gonna
He-
live.
He doesn't turn into Batman.
Yeah, exactly.
He has like smoke grenades, and he's swinging off vines.
I don't know, maybe he's like the
wow.
young Bruce Wayne or something.
That's pretty much.
He's a young Tony Stark.
That's
He's
all
out
I
there-
thought. I was like, damn, it's like little Bruce Wayne running around.
MacGyver, you know what I mean? He knows what he's doing. He's a genius.
Yeah.
And that's how he became a superhero. He survived the
Exactly.
dinosaurs. But no, look, Jurassic Park 4, all I would say is let's cut out some of the elements that people say they don't like about the previous ones. Let's cut out the little kid shit.
Yeah,
All right?
exactly.
Let's cut all that out. Let's see some really cool dinosaurs in this. Let's just go nuts with it.
Yeah.
All right? I mean,
Yeah.
we know the dinosaurs are there, and you've already made a couple of shitty movies. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park is a great movie, but the script ain't that strong.
Yeah.
But it's a great movie. Don't get me. It's
It is.
nostalgic for me. I saw the movie 5 times in the theater, but Jurassic Park 2, fucking garbage, man.
It was terrible. It was terrible.
And I would say it was one of those things where Spielberg, if I was to see Spielberg and I wouldn't come in there and just say, Spielberg, your movie suck. I'd be like,
What's wrong with you?
Mr. Spielberg, sir, man, permission to speak, please. No, I think I would actually tell him if we would like sit down having a beer. I'd be like, and he asked, I'd be like, man, Jurassic Park 2 is a movie that you pretty much shit out.
Yeah, you phoned it in. I mean,
You were working on Schindler's List at the same time.
and that's his
you didn't
problem,
get-
though. I mean, I thought he did the same thing with War of the Worlds, and War of the Worlds
working
came
on
out
Munich.
around Munich, and
Yeah.
Munich was by far a superior film.
Oh my God, Munich was
So,
great,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
And then
I
War of the
love that
Worlds,
film.
I'm like, man, come on, this one stop
Yeah.
making two movies at
And
the
that-
same
I
time.
know, it's like that was phoned in. Yeah.
Yeah, he ain't fooling nobody.
But,
Shit, that's a paycheck.
Exactly. So, I mean, I would love to see them make another Jurassic Park. I don't even know if the audience, if people really care to see another Jurassic Park film, but it would be nice to see them take at least the good elements that they had in that third film and run with that. You know.
Look, a Jurassic Park movie is not that special now. Why? Because we've seen so much shit with
exactly.
dinosaurs,
Yeah.
dragons, monsters.
Cloverfield.
I mean, come on. We see
yeah.
monsters all the time now.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park was incredible because that's the first time we saw dinosaurs on
Yes.
screen. I actually almost teared up when I
No,
first time
I
saw a
did too.
dinosaur.
When I
was
saw
like,
that,
fuck.
I was like, wow, I was really blown away. But, you know, through the test of time, though, I mean, it's you know, there's some bad dialogue going on in that
so
film.
really, I
I'm
would
not
say
going to try to
that-
ignore that, you know.
Unless Jurassic Park can really, really, really give us something incredible, and they would really have to go out their way to make it something special.
Exactly.
Don't nobody give a shit.
Yeah, and
Like you said, Aragorn.
How many scenes can you do with raptors chasing people?
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like you're watching Aliens or something, you know.
Exactly. You know,
Yeah.
that's the problem with these movies. With these movies, they really haven't, except for the addition of a few dinosaurs. They really haven't expanded with character or story development. It's the same fucking
It
thing
is.
story-wise
Yeah.
over and over again.
It is.
Fuck a Jurassic Park. You know what I'm saying? Shit.
I ain't fucking.
Give me a movie. You know how they got the basketball team, the Raptors? Give me a movie with the Velociraptors playing basketball. Or some shit. They're so smart. They can slam dunk now.
Dinosaurs in space, Corey. That's what I see. That's the future.
They were talking about one time they had a comic book series out where they actually had the mafia using dinosaurs as assassination weapons. I'm not fucking lying, man.
Wow.
I mean, look,
What
at
the
this
hell?
point, a couple of years ago, I'd been like, that's fucking stupid. Get out of my face
Yeah.
with that shit. But now I'm thinking, look, where else you got to go?
Yeah.
Let's try it. At least let's see what happens.
The Godfather with dinosaurs. That would be awesome.
He'll come to me asking me and my raptors for a favor. The day of my raptor's wedding.
You use my raptors. It's an offer you can't refuse.
I really Jurassic Park. As far as Spider-Man goes,
Yeah,
I was very
Spider-Man.
disappointed with Spider-Man 3.
I was terribly disappointed with Part 3, and I know there's a lot of people who would disagree with us, but I'm sorry. It lacked the character. It lacked everything that I loved about the first two Spider-Mans. It almost turned into a Batman and Robin towards the end for me. I mean, it just was a little too. It just was a little too goofy. A lot of the character motivations didn't make any sense, and having that goddamn butler at the end show up out of nowhere to explain, what
everything.
happened to his father. Yeah, to Harry Osborn, explain to him, it's not your father. His wounds were. He's explaining him what happened to his father, and it makes him turn his.
It's almost like that really terrible scene in
Yeah.
Batman and Robin when Alfred came out.
Yeah.
And I'm a computer program, and I'm going to explain. No, really, look, people, I'm not trying to be this me versus you in Spider-Man 3.
no.
I'm trying not to do that. What I'm telling you is look at story structure in that movie. Look at it, characterization in that movie.
Yeah.
Peter Parker is not the same character.
No.
That whole scene with him Jive walking down the street, and it's silly.
It is.
And it doesn't fit within the
It
world
takes
that
you
they
out of
created
the
in the
movie.
previous
That
two
scene
movies.
took me out of the goddamn movie.
Yeah.
And I was really like, why are they doing this?
I mean, I know people want to sit up there and defend the movie in a way that, well, you're talking about this movie, so I'm going to take a stronger stance defending it.
Right.
I would say, just take yourself out of it. I was mad enough to take myself out of Lakeview Terrace and say, look, I'm telling people, take yourself out of Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
And look, if you can really give me reasons why you like it, what can I say? It's all opinion. If you like it, you like it. But I've seen some inconsistencies with people who know better and know better structure and have complaints about certain movies that they want to apply to this film.
Right.
I'm saying you're just in love with Spider-Man.
I know, and that's the sad part about that, because you're making excuses. It's like you're making excuses for that movie that you shouldn't be making.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a well structured film by any means. I mean, my problem with that movie is that movie was basically created by a committee. It was just a big committee assembled by the people who were Avi Arad. I put a lot of the blame on him because of his insistence badgering Sam Raimi over his head to put Venom in there, where Sam Raimi had no desire to put that character in there whatsoever. And you watch that film, and you can easily see that he was basically just thrown in that film. I mean, there's nothing that motivates his character to be in that film besides he's the bad guy. He's just a bad guy, and he wants to destroy Spider-Man. Sandman, he started off as a prominent character, and you actually sympathize with him for a bit until the rest of the movie went along, and he was kind of like a throwaway character all of a sudden. And you're like, why do you build up all the story around this character if you're not going to do a goddamn thing with him? Only at the end, to have a scene where Peter Parker's crying. That's before I go off on a tangent here, why does every goddamn character in that movie have to cry like a bitch throughout that whole movie?
I've only seen that movie once. I had no real desire to see it again.
No. I saw it once, but there are a lot of things that really stuck to me. Like,
then they all crying, huh?
They were all fucking weeping like babies, and especially at the end where the Sandman committed all these crimes, and Spider-Man was just like, "I'm sorry, this happened to you," and he lets him go. I'm like, well, what? Why? There's no reason for it.
Well, they're all a bunch of pussies in the movie.
No, but the thing is, the movie was made by a committee. Obviously, there was no thought into the characterizations of it, and it was kind of thrown together.
Yeah,
and that's my problem.
It was. Yeah, and
I'm hoping, at least if they're going to do a part 4 and 5, that Sam Raimi will realize, the faults of the last movie and will improve on that. I think he's a competent director to do that.
Yeah.
So hopefully, I hope they're great. I hope they're great films. I don't go to a Spider-Man movie hoping that it's going to be terrible.
Yeah, no, you're right. We got one more question here. We'll make it quick.
Okay.
All right, this is from John in Jacksonville. And John says, I was just wondering if you could enlighten me about the electric boogaloo that the co-host 3000 keeps referring to. Now, you want to explain
somebody's paying attention.
Yeah, people want to know.
Well, do you want to tell them or...
I mean, I can tell them real quick.
Yeah, quick.
Okay. Electric Boogaloo comes from the sequel to a movie called
Breakin'.
Yeah, yes. Now Breakin' is the quintessential breakdance movie.
Yes, it basically cashed in on the big breakdancing
craze.
The craze that everyone was doing. White kids were doing it. Everyone was trying to do it.
Yeah, at the time when they hit mainstream, breaking came into being, and so and we're talking about breaking, not breaking.
Yeah,
break. It has like
breaking.
It ends with an N and an apostrophe.
Yeah.
So now Breakin' was released in May of 1984. Now,
1984.
Yeah. So in December of 1984,
the sequel came
out. The sequel came out,
which was
Breakin'
entitled
2.
Yeah, Electric Boogaloo. That's right.
And that is such a weird suffix for a movie to have, Electric Boogaloo. I mean, it works great for the movie because it rries and it's just it's catchy.
It's so catchy. I'm still using it today, Corey.
Well, it's catchy that a lot of people use it. I mean, it's one of those things where people just now it's now used as a silly catchphrase for anybody who wants to refer to making fun of a sequel, mocking a sequel. We're making a sequel to a movie that doesn't need a sequel.
Right.
We're making a sequel and just making a joke about it. So, that's what you always do.
Exactly, and rightfully so, because it's the perfect sequel name. I'm sorry.
No, it is. So now you hear it joked around a lot. You're not going to just hear it from us. Mm-hmm. But I just now realize that a lot of kids out there might not know where Electric Boogaloo comes from.
Oh, they'll know. They'll know now.
They'll know now. So, goddammit.
Go. I'm sure right now, if you go and you try to find that DVD, I think you can also find it in like a 2-pack. Where
with Breakin'?
It's one DVD with Breakin' on one end, on one side, Breakin' 2 on the other side, Electric Boogaloo. With the adventures of Kelly, Ozone, and Turbo.
I know. Here's the names. Yeah. It was let me see, because it was you had a
well, Kelly. Okay,
well, Kelly was Special K.
Kelly was Special K.
And then you had a real breakdancer named Shabadoo as Ozone, and then you had Boogaloo Shrimp as Turbo, and then you had Sir Peter O'Toole as Booganose Johnson. No,
wow.
They got a lot of stars in that movie, man. Richard Attenborough as Onion Head Larry.
Yes, and everyone, you should go on YouTube and look for the Turbo dancing, where he's dancing all over this house. He's cleaning up the house. Oh, he's doing this awesome dance with a broom. And he's like dancing on the ceiling.
It's a reference to Fred Astaire.
Yes,
and I forgot what movie that he did it in, but he danced all over the room. As a matter of fact, Lionel Richie did a takeoff on Fred Astaire's dancing on the ceiling too.
There you go.
With his video dancing on the roof or something like that. I don't know. I don't know.
I think it's called Dancing on the Ceiling. too.
Dance on the yeah, but anyway,
Dancing on the ceiling.
yeah, that's it exactly. That's just how Lionel Richie sounds.
Yeah.
Dancing on the ceiling, Lionel Richie. But
Turbo does it better.
yeah, but yeah, it's an homage to that Fred
Yeah.
Astaire film. I wish I could remember what it was, but I can't.
So yeah, check out Breaking 2. That's a great film. The break dancing.
And that's
crew,
you know
they
something.
try to save a rec center.
That's what
Yeah.
everybody when it says,
Yeah.
"Oh, in this movie, do they try to save the rec center?"
Yeah.
They're referring to Electric Boogaloo.
Yes,
Breaking 2,
that's
Electric
the
Boogaloo.
plot, and you need to check out the film to see if they do or not.
We're not going to tell you.
No,
we're not going to spoil it
We
for
are
you.
not. No spoilers here, people. We are not Leog.
Now, we're at the end of the show.
Oh,
no, we're having a good time
epic
here.
5 hours. show.
Yeah, it hasn't been that long. The sun's coming up around.
Yes.
But before we go out, when I just want to look at some clips from Breaking because I was like, wow, man, it's been a long time since I've seen that movie. So I went on YouTube.
Yeah.
And start looking at some clips from the movie, and then on the side they had things that might relate to this.
Yeah.
One of the things that I found was Carlton from The Fresh Prince, Alfonso Rivera. That dude, I remember when I was a little kid, man. He had a commercial out talking about breakdancing.
Oh my God!
It's like he had it was called Breaking and Popping, and it was like a breaking and popping kit.
All right, here, let me look this up real quick.
Now imagine Alfonso Rivera, who's pretty much the whitest black guy that we know now. Imagine him
Thinks
being
that
like
his
about
portrayal of Carlton.
yeah. Now imagine him being like 12 years old, talking about breaking.
Oh, yeah.
He has his Michael Jackson Thriller Wolfman jacket on.
There you go. Yeah, okay, I know exactly what you're talking about now. Yeah.
I got the video up here. People, before we
Yeah.
go out, I'm just gonna close the show with this. I want y'all to hear this because this was this was a commercial.
right.
This was the commercial back then. Like you be watching cartoons in the middle of the day, and Alfonso Rivera's ass comes on. Do you want to learn how to break and pop? I can show you.
I can show you all the great moves that Hey, how do you think I became the great dancer that I am today?
I'll even give you some cardboard to do it with.
I know. You give him some card. He's going to give you with some cardboard with his face on it.
Yeah, it has
see
a cartoon face on
Yeah,
it.
the corner of the cardboard is his face. Oh
I mean, when you get that shit free at it, it ain't like like the back of a grocery store.
Exactly.
You know, you can get some cardboard. You're like, but no, pay for mine that has my face on it.
And that whole thing was like $20. Came with a LP and all kinds of shit. Came with the wall instructions. You post it up on your wall to learn all.
And
the
I love
moves.
it that he's trying to talk in it. I'm gonna play it for you, but he's talking
Right,
like with a fake Brooklyn accent. I'll even send you some cardboard to put on your wall.
on your wall.
It's like a little Mike Tyson. You want to know how to break? I'll show you how.
Break dance on your wall.
And I like the way he said, it's the safe way to break and pop, not like the dangerous kind you see people on the streets doing.
Yeah, the kind I was doing.
Yeah, exactly.
My robot. That's dangerous, kids.
There have been several injuries and neck breaks trying to break dance. I won't let you do it.
You can become great like me, a great dancer.
Okay. Before we go out, let's go ahead and take a look at this video right here. Alfonso Rivera's breaking and popping kit.
Breaking and popping. Yeah. What's the popping part, Corey? You gonna be popping your neck when you're trying to do these damn moves?
Popping your joints out of limb.
I know he's no trained professional, Corey.
Yeah, exactly. As a matter of fact, well, I'll talk about it after we get through with this. Take a look at this. I'll listen to it. And people you can find on YouTube.
Telmac presents Alfonso Rivera.
Hi. You know, I wasn't born a dancer. I learned to do it with a lot of help. And with my help, you can learn too. Moves like the moonwalk. Or the king turn. It's all right here in the Breaking and Popping book. Almost 100 pages that simply and clearly take you through the moves. In a few minutes, you could be doing backspins that will flip out your friends, or eye-popping moves like the centipede. My step-by-step guide starts with the basics, but takes you all the way to tough moves like the windmill. It's all right here in my easy-to-follow book. And tell Mom and Dad it's the safe way to break and pop, not the things you shouldn't try. My book comes a fold-out breaking board. Carry around to give you a huge 65 by 70 safe dancing area anywhere.
Wow.
Can you rap? Well, there's even a full rap sheet included.
Corey, you rap.
Plus, this instruction poster to hang on the wall.
Whoa!
Even
a wall!
Jeff, you get my book. Fold up breaking board, rap sheet, and instruction poster. Plus, you get the right kind of music. Rap attack. Hey, if you like volume 1, volume 2 is radical.
Yeah. Rad.
Yes, you get my breaking and popping book, the rap sheet, instruction poster, a fold-off breaking board, plus the double album Rap Attack, all for under $20.
$20.
Those right, only $19.99. For COD and credit card orders, call 1-800-453-8500. Save the COD charges by sending $19.99 plus $3 shipping and handling to Breakin' and Poppin', 443 West 50th Street, New York. Alfonso's Breakin' offer is great for all ages. Have your mom or dad order now.
Give me the phone. Can you rewind it back to that part where that guy comes in? Because that's the best part. He's like, "That's right, Alfonso."
Did he say that?
Yeah.
Let me hear that. Wait, what part?
At the very end.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Wait a minute.
Here you go. Here you
Card
go.
orders, call 1-800-453-8500.
Alfonso's right.
$20.
Alfonso's right, only $19.99. For COD and credit card orders, call 1-800-453-8500.
Alfonso's right.
Alfonso's right. God damn it!
He's always right.
They got a number on here, by the way, that they call. I would like to call that number right now.
Don't.
I'm not gonna call it now.
You're gonna end up being a penis pump.
Damn, how you know I'm not looking for one? Anyway, look, man, it's funny because in that video, that goddamn video, he's talking about, I can teach you how to do this and that.
Yeah.
He ain't doing any of that shit.
I know. You don't see. You barely see him doing the moonwalk.
Like he
moonwalk.
all he does is walk. I can teach you how to walk out and sell some cardboard. But yeah, that was that's when everybody was on the break and shit. I remember seeing a newsreel or a news story where they showed a video of like middle-aged white women trying to learn how to break dance, taught by some goddamn African guy.
You know that at that point that trend was over.
Yeah, I mean breaking's back now, but back then it was like, man, okay, I don't want to do this shit no more. I always had this, man. It's gonna sound stupid. I always had this fantasy, like when I was a kid, like I would be the breakdancing ninja. like I would. It's so stupid.
Okay.
Now listen, when I was a little kid, I had this fantasy that I would be the nerdy kid that nobody liked because I was kind of like that, and then at the school dance, I would disappear and I'd be like, excuse me, I have to go, and I'd leave, and then I'd go and change, and I bust into the dance room in my ninja costume, but I'd be breaking. I was the best break dancer, and then when everybody's like, what? Damn, who is that guy? I'd never seen moves like that.
Wow.
I would get up and disappear.
And all the girls are like, "Oh my God, who
was
was
that
guy? Who was that mass marauder?"
Yeah, and I'd come back in and be like, what happened? What happened? I heard noise. And be like, oh, you missed it, Corey. The breakdancing ninja was here.
He was here again. bless us with his moves. And then you woke up, Corey, with your glasses on, and somebody shooting spit wads at you.
Wake up, Coleman! Lunch money,
Coleman. Time to take out the trash. You're not doing nothing.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Anyway, that's the show, everybody. Next week we want to talk about it this week, but we're gone long.
Yeah,
so
too long.
Yeah, next week we're going to talk about some stuff we saw at Fantastic Fest.
Yes, Fantastic Fest.
I saw like the mainstream stuff. You saw cool stuff.
I saw some cool shit.
I saw Zach and Miriam make a porno, and Eagle Eye, and what was it, Fanboys. But you saw some.
I saw an incredible film, a CG animated film called Terra, and a Turkish Danish. I think it was a Dutch film called Fighter. Dealing with a female Turkish Dutch teenager who has a passion for martial arts, but due to her family, they won't allow it.
And Terra, what was Terra about?
Terra was basically about humans basically trying to colonize this planet.
Terraform?
Yeah, they're trying to colonize this planet that was already inhabited, and the humans at this point turn hostile towards the planet. So it's interesting to see how the human race is depicted as
the villain.
The villain, yeah, and it was an incredible looking film. The visuals were stunning. The designs of the vehicles and the characters were amazing, and it was everything I was hoping WALL-E would be as far as the story that I wanted to see.
Yeah.
And it was just an incredible film. I don't know if it has a distributor yet. I hope it does, because it definitely does deserve to be seen.
Wow.
It's just an incredible film. And it takes the whole idea of war and, just how we handle our issues, especially right now and with the war going on, and about the environment. It takes a lot of those issues, and it doesn't beat you over the head.
What country
with
is it from?
This is made in Canada, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but a lot of great actors are actually the voice actors in this.
Like who?
Brian Cox.
Oh.
What's her name? I'm forgetting her name right now. Rachel Wood. She's in this. She plays one of the voices. Oh God, I'm already. Hold on.
Uh-oh. Searching into your computer.
Yes,
banks.
Brian Cox, Luke Wilson, David Cross. David Cross plays this little android that's really awesome.
So do you think that it will possibly be given a wide release here?
It should. It really should, honestly. As visually stunning as it was, it's one of these films that I think adults will truly love it, as well as kids. And it deals with a lot of issues that some of these CG animated features, put out by Pixar would be a little too afraid to touch upon, I think.
Yeah.
But it was just an amazing film, and
damn, you got me really looking forward to it, man.
Yeah. I mean, I can't praise this film highly enough. Hopefully everyone will get to see it really soon.
I'll try to do that, man. Yeah, just real quick, I saw like Zack and Miri. I think Zack and Miri make a porno. Funny in some parts, but forgettable. Again, I think it's Kevin Smith trying too hard to be edgy and sort of even offensive in a way.
Oh, really? So
yeah.
I keep hearing people refer to like it's as good as Chasing Amy, but
it's one of the best things he's come out with in years. But to me, it's still not that great.
It's not that great.
Yeah. I mean, there's some parts in there where I laughed. It was funny, but I didn't think it was really. Like I said, when I left, I was like, it's just okay. It's really and really, I'm not going to remember this movie. And it seemed like some parts were really stretching to have that offensive kind of humor. Yeah. There's one part in that movie. The part I remember the most is one of the most disgusting parts of the movie. It's not even now that funny. It's just kind of like, damn, they went there. Yeah. But hey, I got Justin Long probably is the character I left at the most in the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he comes in and plays a great role. I won't ruin it what he does, but Justin Long is the guy from the Mac commercials and he's the Mac guy in there.
Do you know the release date? Is that supposed to come out?
I think it's like in October or something.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Fanboys, I saw. Fanboys is great. How was that? Fanboy. It's fun. It starts out kind of annoying because look, I've heard every Star Wars quotable that is out there, and that's what this movie does, and I don't need to hear anymore. Right. But as it goes along, it gets a little funny. I mean, it's still, I don't think, a great movie. Yeah. But if you're a fanboy, you're the target audience for it. I'm not really part of fanboy culture, but it turns out to be all right. I won't say it's great, but.
Well, I guess we'll wait till next week and we'll
wait till next week and see it. Yeah.
So hopefully I know I plan on seeing more of the films during the week, so I'll be sure to let you know which ones were worth the shit. So.
Yeah, because I just don't have time to go there anymore. I got to go out of town this week. So yeah, tell me what you see, man.
Yeah,
thanks
definitely.
for recommending Terra. I really want to try to find that movie, man.
Everyone, I'm hoping to God it'll find a distributor if it hasn't already. But, it should. It will.
Okay.
It's a great film.
All right, y'all. Well, that was a long show. We didn't know it was going to be that long. Sorry. What do we say? We sit here, we lose track of time. We have a good time.
We don't plan on it ever being long.
We do, then
things happen.
Yeah, exactly. Deal with it. Shit. All right, y'all. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Be cool.